The bitches, they love visuals.
Let's roll.
What is this Facebook Live? I've never heard of this shit.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Good morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Oh, loaded, loaded, loaded. Damn. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Sergeant's Time on this
Howdy.
2 November 27, 2 November. Holy fuck. Oh, God. 2 November. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence. This is Ice. My golf and Mama is on the phone. And,
hey, y'all.
Yeah, so, yeah.
What's happening?
What is not happening? I just got some questionings and discussions with the judge right now, so I had to do a legal debrief. Loady. Hello, a legal debrief. What's going on, guys? Oh, well, hey, hi, everybody. Hey, well, hey, Jason. Hey, buddy. Hey. Oh, my God, bro. Oh, hey, everybody. Hey, ciao. Hey. Well, welcome. How's your evening, too, Derek? God, man, everyone's just jumping in. Man, oh, appreciate it.
Hello, Franz.
Yeah, Franz, yeah, hello. I'm doing, yeah, how you doing, John? You doing all right, man? So today is freaking Thursday, and I'm pretty much right now going to say that in my lifetime, I probably have had sexually assaulted, or not sexually assaulted, but sexually harassed. Ooh, that sounded bad. So that's going to harass some chicks. I'm just saying that now because that seems to be the new trend now against guys. You got to say you sexually harassed. So I sexually harassed some chicks because
hashtag me too.
Or pound me too.
Yes.
Yeah, because right now it seems like everything a guy does right now. This is exactly what happened in the Army. You remember this, right? My golf back in the day, the Army went through a large, a very large campaign of the sexual harassment kick, and then everything at that point was sexual harassment.
Yes, that was right after the Don't Drink and Drive campaign.
It was the big, and that was when Ensue Yeses changed and all that. So I'm glad the Army is now starting getting fucking fed up with that shit. It's like, okay, enough.
You PC, bro?
Yeah, just enough of that shit because we're tired of that. Yeah, exactly. We're tired of the Army actually changed its regulations to say there's a specific amount of time. However, in Hollywood, holy crap! It seems like now they're just coming out of the woodwork. Now it just seems like it's a fashion statement. I know this is Sergeant's Time, but we don't tolerate sexual assault in our ranks, of course. However, sexual assault and sexual harassment are two different events, I think, and it's just me.
Yes.
Just due to the fact, yeah. Well, yeah.
Legally.
Illegally, because when you think about it, because to me, sexual assault is, a violent, unwanted, sexual event. That's what I think a sexual assault is. You know what I mean?
I believe that is actually the legal definition. Sexual assault is physical contact. Sexual harassment is
unwanted comment, statements, vermin.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing is that it's just if you can't freaking it now, it just seems like if you watch, it is almost kind of comical to watch Hollywood now. It's fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
It is watching. It is now watching everybody. Everybody's doing the Sexual harassment, sexual harassment, sexual harassment, sexual harassment, sexual harassment. Everything's like, oh god, dude.
Oh, this is the new hotness. Let me jump on this bandwagon.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said, because when I was growing up, it wasn't called a hashtag; it was called a pound. So I laugh as an old guy to see the pound of me too. Thinking, when Mom brought it up, I was like, whoa, yes, this has something to do with Sergeant's Time. I know it's Sergeant's Time.
Well,
But
I mean, at least I brought it up.
that's what I'm saying, and that's, you know what, as a card-carrying member of the Sex Canal, you could say that you are equipped to make those type of comments, because that way you could freaking. That's right, Pooks. It's funny watching these guys eat themselves.
Watch your microaggressions there, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I got microaggressions, whatever the fuck that means. Fucking, I'm waiting for Mixer to pull my card, man. They've done a good job. They've done, actually. They have been a good. They have been a good. I don't think Mixer. I think Mixer, after they sent a couple of nasty emails to me, and I said yeah, I'll work on it. And then they sent me another one, and I said, hey, fuck off. Everyone else gets to put shit on here too. They've left me alone.
Nice.
I've not had any. Hey, eulogy.
Yeah, let's don't fuck with that guy.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's not that. No, I'm not saying I'm like that kind of guy. Don't fuck with that dude. No, it's not that. It's the fact that I think to them they just realized it was a losing battle.
Yeah, exactly. Don't fuck with that guy. He's got zero fucks. He doesn't care.
It's the whole fucking no one cares. No one gives a shit. So the thing is that it's a moot point to even discuss that, because if everyone else gets to throw shit up on a Mixer and it's not a big fucking deal, then we get to throw fucking it's not a big deal. We should say it too.
So basically, what it is it's a finite number of people, a very small number of people that are making a very large noise that are getting all the attention.
And that's yeah. Well,
yeah, the squeaky wheel, and it doesn't matter what topic it is. It's whatever social justice issue of the day it is.
Correct. Everyone talks about, what does this have to do with Sergeant's Time? Because slowly but surely, whatever happens in society ends up trickling into the Army.
Correct.
And so when it comes to sexual
and you
assault,
end up having to do more classes on
exactly.
whatever, on using proper pronouns and microaggressions and transgender bathrooms and all of that.
Which it's one of those things. It's one of those things that it's kind of funny, due to the fact that no one. I don't think anyone. I don't think no one wants to breach that subject because they don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
They don't.
I have zero fucks to give. I'll be that guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm actually waiting for my first unit event where, I say he or she, and then people lose their shit. I'm waiting for that. I'm actually waiting for that. I'm actually kind of like rubbing it in type shit.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to happen because that percentage of the population is so small. The chance of you running across somebody that's actually legitimately offended because you used he or she instead of whatever made-up pronoun they want, I don't think it's going to happen.
I think someone's going to try to introduce it to try to push more into it. You know what I mean? What's up with the
maybe to test boundaries, but I mean,
exactly.
Legitimately running into Caitlyn Jenner or Bruce Jenner in the military, I don't think it's ever going to happen.
No. Somebody asked me about the weed. Yes, just about 90% of vets support medical marijuana research.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I'm one of them. You guys were talking about that. We were talking about that last week. 90% of veterans expanding research into medicinal marijuana. We're actually allowing, are now backing, and to include the statisticians and the bureaucrats are talking about allowing federal doctors now to prescribe it instead of just getting a script. You know what I mean?
Good.
So that's what they're talking about, pushing it. It's going to be Lou Selly, part of the Veterans Affairs Rehabilitative Division from the American Legion, brought that up.
Descheduling is coming. Brace yourselves.
Yeah. And I'm just really like, whoa, man. 420 and you fucking heal. That's what I'm talking about. There was an event today that several veterans and family members were to speak about benefits they've seen from alternate drug. drug usage. There's a lot of Republicans and there's a lot of Democrats. Both parties are bipartisan in this. They actually want to see this happen. And once it comes out, I'm pretty sure our friend Jonathan Kophanger will come online and shoot the shit with us about it.
Oh, speaking of that, I was actually just typing to you. He's working on getting me in contact with his, I guess, associate on that.
Oh, awesome. I love that dude. He's good shit. Good peeps. So so that's what's up with the weed. You guys asked about the weed. Sorry. I mean, I don't want to continue the Monday show, but
Smoke weed every day.
yeah, exactly. But exactly that eulogy. There's a lot of people that's been helped by it too. Eulogy from the Mixer chat. So it is. It's helped. I mean, come on, man. It's helped everyone, and I like the fact that it's now. There's no denying it now. There's no way you can deny the support. This is the green room, but I'm just saying. Not that I'm a big advocate, but I'm a big advocate. So that's what's up with that.
If it makes my knee feel better, I'm all for it.
Well, if it makes or if it just makes you feel better. You never. I mean, I don't think somebody on
beer does that shit.
I don't think beer. Well, beer gets you pissed off though. You'll be fucking fat bitches in no time.
It'll put you in a bad situation.
It'll put you in a bad situation. It'd be just kind of funny that, exactly that, John. We were to invade Jamaica. Soldiers be coming back with, just like how soldiers can come back with freaking same thing here, Rotec. Last time I hit a joint was about 1984, 1985 too. Yeah, the Civil War was rough. Thanks, eulogy. You really you must know
I'm not going to tell
age.
you how old I was at that time.
In that time, how old were you during that time?
You said what years? 84, 85?
84, 85. How old were you?
2.
I was in high school.
God damn, you're old, dude. I was still in elementary school.
Oh man. So, yeah. Again, we're not. This is not a green room event. This is not a green room show. But you guys asked, and I will provide the assistance on what happened today. I guess it's been hitting the circuits all over the American Legion area. So hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, today we're gonna have a guest from the Journey Home Project. We're gonna have Dave Corlew. Who's gonna come on at 9 o'clock. So stay tuned, pay attention. I'm waiting for our other co-host to talk about some stuff that's been causing quite a stir in the Army right now. To the point where there was actually going to be a WTF Productions parody, just like the Expert Action Badge. There was going to be one for the SFAB.
Oh my god, I saw those guys. I went to the commissary the other day, and they're all over Fort Benning.
Well, of course, that's where they're based out of.
I never noticed them before until I saw the article on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're the weenies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Those guys have been getting a lot of shit. Here's the way I see about that thing. That was a poorly rolled out event. A lot of players involved. We have Jose on the trail to find out exactly what's going on and who's doing what and what was the reason why. So yeah, we're coming, guys. Hey, we'll come and get you. We're gonna bring you to justice. I was almost laughing like George Bush there. Yeah. So what about it, John? Bring them on, the little shits. Antifa, they're gonna try to fucking fight us. Bring them. See what happens. November 4th is like, what is that? Friday? What is that? Friday or Saturday? It's Saturday.
That's tomorrow.
No. Okay. Yeah.
No.
So it's Saturday then.
No.
That's Saturday.
It's just Saturday.
So it's Saturday. All right. So
you can see how concerned I am. I've got it on the calendar all.
Yeah.
I saw a meme on Facebook that just had me rolling.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm more concerned about the expiration date on my milk.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, speaking of which. Hola, Doc. How you doing?
Hello, Doc.
What's up, dude? Naked dudes.
Yeah, naked dudes.
Naked dudes.
So we're here talking about the SFAB.
Oh, Neptune.
Oh, we knew this was going to be your type of subject. So, everyone's talking about this new brigade, the Security Forces Assistance Brigade. I guess is what they call it. They're calling it. Or what they're everyone else is calling SF. Wannabes. So, there seems to be some controversy behind it. Everyone's discussing about how the unit is doing the same mission as SF and the SFAB. And they're
not the same.
No, hang on. I'm just telling you.
No,
Hang on. I'm explaining both sides right quick, so that way you can. I want you to jump in as soon as I finish explaining both sides. One side is saying that they're not doing SF's job, that they're doing something that SF didn't do before, and then SF just picked it up, and then SF is saying that they're picking up their jobs. So who took each other's? Who took our jobs? Who did that? What's the real reason behind that concept of who did the military assistance stuff? Everyone calls it, in accordance with one of the tenets of special forces, is their foreign internal defense. Now, there's a little bit more specifics to it, right? Isn't that also considered irregular warfare or unconventional warfare?
Yeah, it's the on the timeline of an insurgency. It's the latter part of the insurgency timeline is FID, which starts with unconventional warfare or guerrilla warfare or irregular warfare.
Correct. Now, is that the same thing as far as, is that considered both the same? IW and UW, is that considered both the same?
I suppose. I mean, I've not read manuals that any place that illustrates any distinct variance in the two.
Yeah.
I always assumed that they were the same, having worked with in application, those terms were used interchangeably.
Yeah. Now, the difference between is obviously with unconventional warfare that deals specifically in the capability of heavily relying on subversion and guerrilla warfare. And it, like you said, along the tactics in it, it's how you, without getting too much into any specific details, it's basically you as a special forces team infiltrate, conduct your internal, I guess you would, at that point, would be the minus phase 0 of foreign internal defense, because that eventually that guerrilla force is going to be the conventional force that turns into the legitimate government that you're supporting, correct?
Well, and not necessarily they're not necessarily going to be military either.
Yeah.
There's going to be dudes that are medical. There's going to be dudes that are political. So once you get above like if you think of it like an iceberg, once it becomes visible, right? Like the aspect of the shit that becomes visible, no longer, I mean, it's still unconventional per se.
Correct.
But once you get above the waters, so to say, where it's completely like visible, where a new, like where in Afghanistan, we put in a head of government, right?
Yeah.
Like that becomes, it's no longer unconventional. We're not going out and trying to remove that leader.
Correct.
Anymore.
Correct. Because the leader is considered, or the government's considered replaced, I guess you would say, or the specific factions
and
considered replaced.
The indige then gets put into like wherever they are, like doctors go on to start clinics and shit. News people, like they go out and start doing news shit.
Correct.
Or media, whatever.
Correct. Yeah.
There's just a couple examples, but so that's the difference. Is you have your partisans or your guerrillas, right?
Correct.
And those are not considered conventional forces.
Correct.
Now, keep in mind, like, the term is like, goes back to like the Revolutionary War, right? Where the Americans rebelling against the king were considered rebels,
Correct.
guerrillas.
Correct.
They didn't fight the same way. They didn't line up in a line and start shooting each other in formations and shit. So there's a little bit of different that's and here's the thing, man. Like, I just want to, before I forget this, there's SF dudes. If there's a specific need to train artillery dudes or to train fucking engineers or whatever conventional forces you want to fucking consider training, right? Like, SF dudes will go to an engineer battalion. I'm not saying engineer, I'm saying engineer battalion just because that's something I pulled out of my ass, but actually, like, we have team internal engineers that are like more than capable of doing that shit. But what happens is, let's say that it's artillery, for example, right? Like, we're not, or the SF team isn't gonna be necessarily up to speed on how to train an artillery unit
Or operate an FPC and all that.
So this is a good example because it's one of those things that's considered like conventional military, right?
Well,
artillery.
Correct. No,
So
you bring up a good
an
point.
SF team
That's
would go
part of the soft
to an
truth.
artillery unit, learn how to fucking do that shit, and then they would go and teach an artillery unit. Because the thing with an SF unit is not that they're special in training a certain type of warfare or unconventional warfare. The thing is that they're special at being able to teach everything, like a common saying in the medical arena was see one, do one, teach one. Okay, and teaching, like, dudes from like Ranger Regiment and shit. I mean, this is all banter, but they talk shit and they say those who can do, those who can't teach. You know, well, SF teaches.
Correct.
That's like that is
their bread and butter
thing that they do, and they pick the dudes that are fucking extremely well adapted to learning complex shit, like, very well, and being able to teach it, like, to people. Like, in order to teach it to somebody who's like illiterate and stuff, you have to understand it in its most like thoroughly. So you know how there's like a saying that if you truly understand something, you can explain it to a fucking kid with like the simplest terms.
Correct.
So, and the problem is that we could argue and say, well, why can't an artillery unit go and train artillery units, right? Well, they do artillery shit. They don't go to school and to a qualification course, and they don't go through a fucking pipeline of psychological, fucking constant psychological evaluations with a course standards that are fucking like rigid as fuck. Okay, they don't go through that because in that course they teach you how to teach. That's what you learn, and if you're not able to do it, then you don't make it through the course.
Yeah,
So
that's one, and you bring that up because
that's not something that you could have.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Somebody step in and do without that type of fucking. That shit's been developed since like the OSS.
I was
man.
about to say since
the
World War II.
Jedburgh teams.
Yeah, bingo.
You know, like
bingo.
it's been
Bingo.
refined over time. And to have somebody just jump in and say, well, we're going to train aviators and we're going to train we're going to train artillery dudes. That's the one that really galled me, was the artillery shit. It's like, dude, our Bravos, like, no mortar shit. Like, you plot a fucking mortar It's like you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, not to mention the fact that also the 18 Bravos are also teaching, like you just said, at the most element piece of equipment that an Indige force could possibly have. They would obviously not be running around with a towed fucking 155 or not have a Paladin. You know what I mean? They would not have that type of system.
Yeah,
available.
that's the other thing is that during the courses of our training or the SF training, all the different MOSs get exposed to foreign weapons and to improvised weapons, and the whole time the dudes are trained to fucking think like, what if this doesn't work? What is like you got to like consider your whole planning for. I mean, yeah, if you're gonna infill a country without like authorization to be there, there's a whole different like planning process involved there. These dudes aren't claiming to do that, but if they're gonna go to fucking Afghanistan, right, to do the FID mission, the weapon systems, for example, that they use in Afghanistan, those dudes, maybe everybody should be familiar with an AK if you've done one fucking deployment, but how many variants of fucking RPK are there? The fucking PK, RPK were rated just recently by fucking like SOFREP or somebody as the most fucking like deadly machine gun in the fucking world. And it's used very often in Afghanistan because especially the PK has got the fucking 7.62 by 54 fucking long ass bullet for those fuckers to reach out across open terrain between mountains and shit. So it's just so much shit, man, and I feel bad for these dudes that are getting sold the fucking snake oil to fucking join, because they're whoever decided to do this is a fucking idiot, and their fucking idiocy is gonna be fucking paid by the blood of these dudes that are completely unprepared to fucking go out and do this job. Like in order to do like another thing real quick, in order to do FID, you have to understand UW, because once you finish UW phase of that fucking cycle, going to FID, foreign internal defense. And when you're in the fucking foreign internal defense phase, then that means that you are combating the irregular warfare. Once you remove a government, you replace it, there's going to be the deposed government going after it to some degree.
Correct.
Trying to fucking regain fucking control.
Correct.
And it's happened in Iraq overnight.
Correct.
Every fucking major bridge on every fucking major MSR was blown up in 2004, the spring of, and that was a fucking insurgency. That's FID needs to be able to intimately understand the workings of unconventional warfare, because know your enemy, and that's fucking, you know, if you're gonna argue with that, that's fucking.
Yeah.
I mean,
No. I was gonna say that I was gonna let the nation know that you guys, when Doc is using the term UW, it stands for unconventional warfare, and what he's meaning is that there's 7 phases to it, and the majority of it is
I don't know how much of that is class though. I didn't want to get into too much detail.
Yeah, well, I mean, the TTPs are class, but not the process itself. And then in those 7 steps, there has to be, let's put it this way, there's some of those steps that get to the organizational and buildup of the G-force or for the guerrilla force, what we call it, and then strictly into combat employment. After all those hostilities have ceased, and then it's the demobilization of it, like Doc Mattis just said. And you brought up a good point. That there's the soft truths that are involved, that most special operations require non-soft assistance, because normally there's an SF guy advising that individual, like you were saying, to assist that, and then once that job is complete, then that SF guy takes those individuals trained and goes into hostilities to conduct operations that are needed.
Oh, and here's another thing, man. Like, I used artillery thing because it's pretty Barney, like easy for me to draw the relationship with artillery stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there's all obviously going to be more complicated descriptions, not descriptions, but like more complicated skill sets that we may need to teach to certain people, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to point out that like each team has or should have the fucking scope of being able to figure out for themselves like what's the best solution to this problem. So if we have an artillery unit that we need to train, we may, if we have time, right? Like it all depends on what the fuck you have going on. But if you have time, you might go and take your like some of the team or the full team even to go and train up with an artillery unit and learn how to do that shit, right?
Correct.
And if you don't have time, you could snag up some artillery dudes and fucking take them with you. I mean, dudes constantly would have non-organic attachments at camps. A lot of the time, it was to facilitate those specialty training needs that were required, you know. And a lot of times, like even for the maintenance of the team internal skills, you might snag a dude with you, or you might have a dude come tag along with you in order to fucking like. It depends. You might go to a civilian school. You might like it's all team dictated. Like the team decides like what needs to happen, and they figure out a way how to make it happen. And I heard like one of the arguments I read about in this SFAB dudes was that there was in Afghanistan an ODA that refused to have anything to do with conventional forces, the Afghan local forces, and that they were too busy, quote unquote, with the training up of the Afghan soft boogers, right? Well, that's bullshit. Like that ODA is fucked up. Like I'm not saying that everybody's like perfect either, right? Like an ODA, they get the like the whole power that you have is the communication and the rapport that you build with your local populations.
Yeah.
And that includes everybody. So if you have, like, you should be, like, a lot of times, dudes would be sucking dick to try to get access to conventional forces in the host country.
Yeah. So that
because
they could have
because
resources to
those
use.
dudes have so much, such a more broad access to local populations, right?
Yeah.
And you could the village you might be raiding, some dude might be from it, and he could like walk you into it instead of you having to go, or he could like drive up there with his like brothers and snag a dude up for you instead of you exposing your team to danger, you know.
Yeah.
Like that is retarded, absolutely retarded, that a team would refuse to work with some segment of the local population.
Hey, Mike.
I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, Mike Golf. Did you have to do any type of military assistance with the Kuwaitis or Iraqis when you were tanking?
No, and mainly because the scope of my duties, I was a PSD section leader, and for our combined arms battalion, when we deployed, out of 29 tanks, we brought a grand total of 4.
Damn.
And they sat at the ALOC and they rusted for 12 months.
Well,
So no.
I'm about to say, damn. Okay, so you guys, what the fuck? So 29 tanks and you only had 4 out there, huh?
We brought 4 to rust in the ALOC and just be neglected and break.
Oh God.
For 12 months. So I trained for 21 years as an armor crewman. You know, I spent the last 3 years in the Army as a master gunner, subject matter expert on the Abrams tanks, and deployed as basically an infantryman.
Basically an infantryman.
Basically. They took all my high-speed fucking toys away from me, gave me a rifle and an MRAP and said,
Go.
Yeah.
So when those guys down at Fort Benning, what's their have you been down to that unit? Have you seen that unit at all running around there?
The SFAB guys?
Yeah.
I've seen them at the PX and the commissary. That's about the extent of it.
Yeah.
And the only reason I know it was them is I saw the patch.
Yes, the patch.
And what really struck,
Hang on, Doc.
what really got me about the patch, though, the thing that kind of irked me about the patch is the fact that they have a tab that says Combat Advisor.
Yeah, the combat advisor, that's like literally been an euphemism for SF dudes since the fucking Jedburghs.
Okay, triggered. Yeah. Hang on for a sec. So, so did they have you seen the patch up close? I mean, because we've only seen images.
I have.
They've redone it.
So they're talking about redoing it again, because I think their intent, like I was saying, whoever was in charge of their fucking, I guess you would say their marketing, completely lost the fucking. They blew it, man. They fucking missed the mark.
So my question is, so they're wearing this patch, right? Did they get this approved through the Army Institute of Heraldry?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And
yeah.
So here's the thing. There's a couple aspects that grind my gears about it.
One of mine too. I'll get to it when you're done.
Not
even
tell.
a couple, but the biggest ones. The chief of staff of the Army is a long tab dude.
Correct.
And he fucking is completely behind this nonsense. Then the other thing is that this fucking mission set should never be given to anybody else, first of all. And I feel like they overdid it with the blatant rat fucking of SF heraldry in order to create the chaos where people lose their fucking minds over the Green Berets, while the actual fucking point of the matter is that they want to create a whole nother group of combat advisors.
Okay. So
literally that fucking the instant implied fucking tab combat advisor establishes their fucking hierarchical precedence of combat advisory roles.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Over the actual combat advisors.
Advisors, correct.
It's fucking absurd, man.
So go ahead, Mike Golf.
Hold on, real quick.
You gotta let Mike Golf talk, man.
I think somebody, like, to me, the fact that the chief of staff of the Army is so defensive about all this shit, and even to the point where he had like no problem with, like, the Green Beret thing was just fucking absurd, but the tab, the patch, the let's see, there was something else too.
Well, that's
the patch is Recondo. It's a fucking upside down Recondo patch.
Correct.
And basically, they're saying that they have fucking some historical connection to not the Mac V SOG, but the Mac V.
Correct.
Right?
Go ahead. Yeah.
And it's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, how do you like? You don't.
What were you gonna say?
The Mac V SOG has historical fucking foundation in the Mac V. Like.
Doc,
yeah,
you gotta let Mike Golf talk. He's trying to get...
All right, man.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
You're getting triggered, bro.
Dude, I think chief of staff of the Army.
Damn, I missed my
You missed your
somebody
end.
has fucking dirt on him, man.
Go ahead.
That's the only thing I can explain where he's a long tab dude. And
he knows where the bodies are buried.
I feel like somebody's intentionally making him like embarrass himself in
Gotcha.
front of the whole community.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead. Your point, Michael. Fuck, dude.
My point, if we go back to earlier in the conversation with the Institute of Heraldry, how fast did they get this thing pushed through and approved? How long have they been working on this fucking patch?
Oh, this has been going on forever. This has been going on behind everybody's back, and like I said, it was poor messaging and poor marketing that brought it out.
Okay.
What should have happened? What should have happened was that they should have discussed what was going to happen. They should have had, just like everything else, some serious motherfuckers who have been in the army a while and have appreciated history to understand true history, and not rewritten fucking history, what you think it looks like and shit, of what organizations look like. So that did go through. It did get put in. And the next thing you know, bam! It wasn't obviously received very well, because there was rumors, there was talks about the personnel that are involved in it. There was rumors and talks about them having an accelerated language program. There was talks of them having a 6-week transition course with a limited selection, all of 48 hours. There was a talk of the standards of being an APFT. You have to come in with an APFT standard. Well, that's all of RSOF. All of RSOF, you have to have a 240 above in your APFT, period. 80 points in each. It doesn't matter. It's every average RSOF person, that is their minimum for promotion. So if you didn't get selected for Sergeant First Class, Master Sergeant, or Sergeant Major, it's because your PT score sucked. And if you were in a leadership position like First Sergeant or Master Sergeant, and you wanted to get promoted to Sergeant Major, you better have a 280 and above for your APFD. That's how critically competitive it is in those fields. Not to mention the fact that it also has, it's an MOS. All the RSOF guys, all the guys in USASOC, that's their MOS. This SFAB stuff is not even an MOS.
It's just a unit.
It's just a unit.
And then they already established like sign-on bonuses for these dudes. That means that, like, dude, if you can get S1 to fucking allocate this kind of shit, that means it's been in the works for a while. You know, like all the admin shit is already fucking like established for them. That's probably another reason why they like. Everybody thought that they were just full of shit, and SF dudes had like no fucking time to deal with this kind of petty bullshit.
Well, no, then that's something too. Is those bonuses and automatic promotions. Hey, Doc, that's correct. S3. Question was asked in the mixer chat. How is a Master Sergeant in a leadership position? Well, in most organizations, the Ops Sergeant Major in the S3 shop is a Sergeant Major, and that's right. And then the S3 was just a Sergeant Major, not a CSM. Well, in some units, they're so short that they put Master Sergeants in there, and that's how they get their time to be promoted.
And ODA
and the team sergeant.
Each team is a team sergeant.
Is a team sergeant.
That's
correct.
Like probably a very. I don't know how the rest of the RSOF is, right?
It's
but
the same. It's the same. It's all the same.
ODAs.
Yeah. Every
master sergeants. Every ODA has a master sergeant.
Correct.
In a leadership.
Yeah.
Position.
Every team, every PSYOP CA team, ODA that I was doing research to talk about this, they do have. They're all eights. They're all in that type of. They all have that crazy hierarchy. But yeah, going back to what you were saying though, Mike Golf, that is the Institute of Heraldry. They were saying that the patch itself. Now, here's what I think they should have done. What I think they should have done, just like they did with the 173rd Airborne Brigade. The 173rd Airborne Brigade, when it deactivated out of Vietnam, was then considered CTAF, the Southern European Task Force in Italy, and it was the 508th Airborne Combat Team. Well, in order to realign the units and keep a forward deployed airborne brigade, they didn't know what they were going back and forth of what type of units did they, and then somebody like no shit had said, you know what, let's bring back the 173rd and reflag it, which was ingenious. So they brought back a tested unit from Vietnam back into the Army system. Well, this whole thing probably would have been solved with the heraldry if they had brought back the MAC-V, the Military Assistant Command Vietnam patch. The Military Assistant Command was a command. It just so happened to be in Vietnam. That's like saying Military Assistant Command in Kuwait, Military Assistant Command in Iraq. It's no different. It's still a Military Assistant Command.
It's Siege of now.
No, I'm talking about the original Big Army unit back in the day.
I know. I agree with you.
Yeah. They should have brought that unit patch back, which was a shield. It was a shield with 2 castle walls bisected by a sword, which that sword is what they're saying is part of their unit heraldry now. On top of that, with an upside down Recondo patch. Well, the last time we went to Recondo school was fucking Vietnam. Or Panama when they had the jungle warfare course, or Hawaii.
And dude, also, it's the thing is that if they were to bring that back, they would have to bring back the same standards. And I think that the whole fucking point of the goddamn Angry Birds that fucking created this abortion, the whole point of this was some bright idea of some fucking goddamn desk jockey to fucking get around the fucking soft truths, or specifically the one that says you can't mass produce soft.
Correct.
And that's their fucking way of getting around it. And it is, it doesn't fucking work.
Well, just a real quick, give you guys a quick update. General Milley did provide a comment, and this is General Milley. I want to assure that everyone that the color of the SFAB beret will be brown and will not be green or any shade of green. It is derived from the brown infantry beret worn by many armies. There is no intent to dishonor or misappropriate the green beret of our U.S. Army Special Forces and all it stands for. Second, I should not have said that SF never advised the ANA or ISF. That is not true. The majority of advising to the ANA and ISF conventional units was done by conventional U.S. Army and Marine units, while SF focused on the ANA commandos, Iraqi Special Forces, and other specialized units, all which were part of the ANA or ISF. Also, there were some SF teams that did advise ANA and Iraqi conventional units. I was obviously incorrect, and I apologize. Finally, I ask people to support this concept. SF is way overstretched, and this is an effort to professionalize and institutionalize the conventional U.S. Army advisory capability. I appreciate everyone's comments and feedback. Signed, General Mark Millery. That's him. That's a man.
Well, he doesn't appreciate the fucking feedback.
No, he's not.
The whole old guard of the fucking SF community has fucking ripped his ass apart.
Well, not only that, but the army's already telling everybody. They're already trolling everybody's fucking comments. They went in Operation Katrina Mork, and fucking we're looking for people to find out who the fuck was making comments and shit.
So. She's working overtime now.
And
she's
also
working overtime.
The brown beret that pretty much fucks Ranger Regiment again, because once it's faded, it's gonna become tan. So way to fucking go.
I think I'll be honest with you. If they really, go ahead.
If it's that easy for some rogue, as Doc calls it, the Angry Birds, to get a new patch in unit past the Institute of Heraldry, then why have I not been able to get my Master Gunner badge into the Institute of Heraldry since 1975, when the school started?
Oh, because the Angry Birds are too busy trying to slip in a mass-produced soft unit.
Correct. And why? If we want to go back further, even further back, then why was it that the combat infantryman's badge was given to everybody back who were infantry if they did combat infantryman's type work, and now all of a sudden it's regulated to grunts? So those guys that were typists in World War II that fucking jumped in Normandy and they got a CIB, you're gonna say they're pogues?
We can create a CAB. We can talk about a CAB, an EAB, Expert Action Badge.
Expert Action Badge.
We've got the Master Instructor Badge now.
Yeah.
We've redesigned the Recruiter Badge to where it's now the Master Recruiter Badge. Why can't I get a goddamn Master Gunner badge?
Well, not only that, they also have Instructor Badge.
Creating whole new fucking units. These rogue colonels.
Which, by the way,
Green Berets and arts and crafts time creating tabs and shit for them to wear.
A real quick caveat, trivia note: he did not complete he was not he did not complete the Special Forces qualification course, but he played one on TV. So I would say
He does have a Pathfinder badge. That's a total like Gucci fucking badge whore badge.
well that's but you know what now in these days, do you know who gets them? That Pathfinder badge is only authorized for jumping quartermasters, for jumping supply colors. So if you
yeah, dude.
if you know
air ops, dude.
Yeah,
Exactly. Giving themselves a pat on the back for a job well done.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, so yeah, if they had stuck with the old patch from Vietnam, I think a lot of this shit would have fucking ended. I think there'd have been no drama, and if they really wanted to go back to their roots, they'd all been wearing boonie caps.
Yep.
But they can't do that because then they couldn't say that they're not trying to mass produce soft.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they're saying they're not trying to replace soft, that would be a good indicator that they're not. If they have the old school Vietnam patch back on and they wear boonie caps, because everybody knows when you're fucking training the little boogers, like you said, you're out in the fucking sun and shit, a boonie cap should be the trademark, whatever. But, you know, they didn't talk to us and, you know, they didn't ask us for any of opinions, and that serves them right, and that's why they're going through a bunch of drama right now.
Nobody consulted Sergeant Stein.
Yeah, nobody consulted Sergeant Stein.
They said these dudes are saying there's SF dudes are overworked and they need to fucking lighten their burden. Well, how about they fucking make us a unit of coffee bitches?
Well, how about how about they stop? How about they stop sending our soft guys to on bullshit fucking missions? You know what I mean?
I think I gotta have busy work.
You get a fucking trigger doc again.
It's fucking institutional insanity, man.
Hang on for a sec. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air. WTF Nation Radio, you're on the air.
Oh, okay.
The fucking Down syndrome actual.
It is. I think I have no idea what that was. I think that was Autis 6. Anyway.
Autis 6.
Oh man. So no, I mean it's a good conversation, but like I said, and you know what? If they would have really marketed this shit right, they would have had the patch, those old timers from Vietnam that did that shit to the Vietnamese, that actually did that shit in Vietnam, to come out and be like their honorary sergeant majors or honorary colonels and shit, and come out to like fucking to say, hey, you guys, that's true fucking lineage, not making up some OER patch. You know what I'm saying?
Or have those guys come out and look at the training and go, no, you're doing that wrong. Yeah. This is how we did it.
Get the guys that fucking do them shits, man. Instead of just sitting there going, oh well, look, I have a beret. And you're, oh my god, here we go again. You know what I mean?
No, give him a booty cap. Go one step further. Give him the fucking tiger stripes.
Yeah. Oh, give them back their tiger stripes.
No, somebody already uses that. Hey, check this out. Following success of Army's SFAB unit, Navy creates Security Education and Liaison SEAL units.
please tell me that's Duffel Blog.
Oh my god.
No, bro.
That's for real?
It's new, and they have a new SEAL Trident, spelled Trident with a Y, aka the Miller. It's an eagle holding a trident, anchor, and a feather, like a pen, right? Dude, holy fuck. This thing, I'm going to link it so that you guys can drop it in the fucking...
That'll work.
Into the chat so dudes can read this shit. It's fucking good.
You know what? I'm going to go over to Fort Benning. I'm going to go to Harmony Church, and I'm going to create my own fucking SFAB.
Exactly. All right, well, we're going to go ahead
Special Forces Armor Battalion.
We're going to go ahead and take a break, and then so that way we can get a hold of the call. We can get our caller here set up for our guest and all that. And then, yeah. So... We'll go ahead and take a break. You got anything before we SFAB out? I mean, before we get out of here.
Special shots.
Special shots. Oh man.
Well, fucking warning shots.
Warning shots. Oh shit! Let me shut this thing off. Let me kill Facebook Live, you guys. I almost put some illegal stuff on there. So shouts.
Yeah. You can't front on that.
WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
put on your uniform right,
Expert Action Badge.
show up to work on time,
Expert Action Badge.
qualify on your weapon,
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right, just doing your noble warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action. The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio. Action Badge.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. WTFNationRadio.com's part 2 of Sergeant's Time on this 2nd November 2017, broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. And on the line we have Dave Corlew from the Journey Home Project. What's going on, David?
It's just dark here, Ice. I said earlier I'm in the long shadows of a small Tennessee town, so it's quiet, but it's good night. We've had a long day, but it's been a good one, and so it's good to talk to you guys.
What are you talking about? The sun always shines in Tennessee. What are you talking about? There's a long night. What do you mean? I've had good experiences in Tennessee.
You know, there's a time in Tennessee we do have beautiful weather, but there's that point somewhere around October, mid-November, where it just gets dark and starts raining, and we really don't see the sun again until somewhere around March, April.
I thought you were talking about Fort Campbell.
I think we're close.
I thought you were talking about Fort Campbell. I'm sorry.
It could one and the same. One is the same.
Exactly. So tell us about the Journey Home Project, man.
Well, the Journey Home Project is really kind of an extension of who Charlie is. I've been with Charlie for 44 years. So Charlie, ever since I've been with him, we've played military bases. We during the Cold War, we were all over Germany. We toured. We were Gitmo. We went to a lot of different places. And then when they knocked the trade towers down, Charlie was one of the earlier guys to actually go into combat zones. So, through that process, and we morphed into, when we got home, we saw a need. There were some temporary things. The first time we went to Iraq, we got over there, and there's a lot of kids that played music, but they had no access to no instruments, any instruments. So we came back and we put together. We got the Air Guard here in Tennessee donated a C-17, and we loaded it up full of Gibson donated like 100 guitars, and we had drum sets and DVDs and just all the music that we could upload, and we took it over, and so it started. It morphed from that to getting involved with some programs, some fundraising efforts through Task Force Dagger Foundation, which is a 3rd Group, 5th Group Special Forces organization that takes care of families. We've worked with some of the scholarship programs, but through that, we just decided that we would, if we were going to raise money in Charlie's name, we wanted to create a foundation, and so that we would, 1, know where the money was going, know that it was well spent, and 3, knew that it was going to the right people and the right places. So that was the reason for the Journey Home Project.
Now, what I want the audience to understand is that we're talking about Charlie Daniels here. We're talking about an icon. He's one of my favorite singers ever. So,
the Charlie Daniels.
The Charlie Daniels. So there is no mistake that when he's saying Charlie, WTF Nation, we're talking Charlie Daniels. Only Charlie Daniels has the swag to get a C-17 and load it up full of instruments and drop it in a combat zone. That's badass.
Well, you know, we worked real close with the military at home. We have a lot of friends around here, and certainly we've got a lot of friends up at Fort Campbell. And you know what? Charlie is a patriot. I've spent my entire adult life following him around the world, and he really is an American. He's a great American, certainly in my eyes, and he's not a bad fiddle player either. So
he's all right.
It's been an interesting life.
He's okay. he's okay. I mean, who did not sing? Who did not know the words to "The Devil Went Down in Georgia"? When I was a kid.
I was gonna say he only beat the devil at his own game.
Exactly. I mean, when you got to think about it, though, when I heard that was the reason why I like that song so much. I mean, A, my dad was a trucker, and B, "Son of a Bitch" was on the radio like it was no big deal. And back in the day, you couldn't say any profanity on the radio. But when Charlie Daniels, for some reason, again, he had that swag, he was able to come on the radio and sing "The Devil Went Down to Georgia," and he sang that line, and everyone. I remember being a kid. Oh my God, he said "son of a bitch." Oh my God. And so everybody, and my dad was tickled. He's a vet, Vietnam vet, and he was tickled pink when we were singing that song. And then me and my brother and my family, we were all singing Charlie Daniels music when I was a kid. I mean, I can't tell you enough. Okay, I'm oogling right now, David. You don't know how much I'm excited to talk to you. You're talking to Charlie Dan. I mean, you work with Charlie Daniels, man. That's God. I can't even imagine.
He's and thank your dad for his service, number one, and number two. You know, Devil was. There's been a few rappers that said that "The Devil Went Down to Georgia" was the first spoken word with rhyme.
Yes.
So
exactly.
like Charlie really was the first rapper.
Exactly. Straight up, he
put words with verse and talked through it,
and was able to pull it off. He was able to pull it off, and he didn't skip a beat and all that. So you guys had the horsepower and the pull to get a C-17 and all that. Does he? I know because you spent some time with him close. There's got to be some times where he's off mic and you guys just have one-on-ones. Do you? I mean, what can I couldn't even imagine some of the quotes that Amy sent me that being involved from your website. We got it posted on the live stream right now, so you don't have to worry about it in the chat. It's actually in the post itself at thejourneyhomeproject.org. But he is so involved, and in a quote to what he says, "I earned early in my life that there are only two things protected America: the grace of Almighty God and the United States military. It was that way then, is that way now, and will forever be that way as long as America remains a free and sovereign nation." Does he ever tell you, man, we're getting into some hard times right now? I mean, does he ever tell you some stuff like that just by what's going on in the current world, the way our society's turning into? Does he ever get you any deep down thoughts about that?
Well, we talk about it a lot, and Charlie being a man of faith, and number one, and then number two is his involvement in the country, and he's not a big political guy. He has his opinions and stuff, but I think that was really the kind of the stimulation and the thing that moved us most is when we started going into combat zones, and even before then, just seeing guys that are away from home and having the opportunity to maybe bring a little bit of home. You know, you can talk to Charlie and you can say you're from Covington, Kentucky, or you can say you're from New York City, you can say you're from Long Island or from Northern California, and he's going to tell you a story from that city, that town. And yeah, I mean, we talk about the world as it is, and you know, I just wrote a note to him. I spent the day with him. He did a book signing. We built a veterans center at the largest campus in Tennessee, which is the Middle Tennessee State University. We have a vet center there. We did a book signing there today, and it's you know, I just wrote him a note, and I said that you know, today today and this week and this month and this year, it seems like our world is just a little bit off its axis, and it's only going to be the people of this sovereign nation and the patriots and our military, who he says every night is, if you ever look into the eyes of these young men and women, they're the best we got, and we're very proud of them. So that's a big part of this conversation. The thing about Charlie is the Charlie you see on stage is really the Charlie that you see every day. I mean, he still wants to talk about fishing. He still wants to shoot a little bit. He likes to, he's got a place. He's got horses. He's got cattle. So, he's a normal guy, and he's never changed. I mean, we all change, but from the time I met him, he was 36 years old. He was always a wiser, older person than all of us young guys, and even at 36, he seemed a little bit wiser and older. So I have wonderful conversation. I drove him this morning. He didn't want to drive, so I drove up to the university with him, and those are the great times. Those are the real the diamonds of having a friendship with Charlie.
Of course. I mean, you couldn't get a C-17 like before. I mean, you couldn't. I mean, that, like I said, I love that moxie.
You know what? I do have an interesting story that.
Go for it. We got plenty of time.
I stopped at one of the markets up the road here, and I run into a kid, and I happened to have a shirt on or something, and he asked me about it, and we exchanged stories. I told him I worked for Charlie, and he was he had been out on a mission, and somewhere it was either I don't know if it was Balad. It was actually in Iraq. So we were in Al-Assad or somewhere, but we were on a runway. We were on a flight deck, and it was like 3 a.m. And this guy had gotten dropped off at the wrong place, and he needed a hitch to Baghdad or to someplace. I don't remember where he was going, but he needed a ride, and he asked about the C-130 that was on the flight deck, and they said that's a VIP. It's a VIP plane, and there's no one allowed on it. And just as soon as the guy told him, Charlie come walking out of the men's room or something, and the soldier said, "Yeah, it's his plane." And Charlie started talking to the kid, and he said, "I'm trying to get a ride back to Baghdad." And Charlie says, "Come on, go with us." And so, they cleared him to go with us. So we piled him on the 130 with us and all our gear, and off we went. So we got him back home, and it was such a small world for me to run into him 7 miles from my house and Charlie's house. It's a small world. You guys, that 1% that have served this country, we want to stay close to you guys.
Well, we appreciate you guys staying close to us. So tell us about this scholarship fund that you guys did back in July with the 5th Special Forces Group. You guys had an award ceremony.
We've
and
yeah.
Go ahead.
We had we do a fundraiser. We do a fundraiser every year. There's a restaurant in Nashville called The Palm. It's a chain of restaurants around the country, and we rent it out every year, and we raise money. The prior to the Journey Home Project, we did it for different organizations. We helped the boot campaign. The first one we did was with Marcus Luttrell, and so we did Task Force Dagger, and we did Sentinels of Freedom. And so finally 4 years ago, we said, let's raise the money for ourselves, and we'll give it to the people we want. But so there's a couple of organizations there in Campbell. We support the Legion Fund, which is part of the 5th group, the Special Forces guys, and then there's also Chapter 38 there. So we love to create scholarship funds for kids that sometimes get shorted. Sometimes maybe if they might get 1,000 or 1,500, we want to be that added value. We want to add the extra $2,000 or $5,000, whatever it takes. So we've stayed close to education because as you know, a lot of guys that went into the military and planning on getting an education, and they knocked the towers down and ended up in a sandbox there. And so we want the Journey Home Project is focused on the reintroduction back into the civilian life that you choose, and the life that you feel like you you want to spend. So scholarships, education, rehabilitation, and the reintegration is that's the key to our deal.
Now
we raise it. We like to raise it fast, and we like to give it away fast.
Oh no, you guys, just this year, you guys gave out $130,000 to the Special Forces Scholarship Fund. That was awesome. Because we're involved in that community as well. We have members on the staff that are involved in the community, and so anytime we hear something like that, we get, and especially, I mean, we're talking to you, man. Come on, you're part of it. This is awesome. We cannot thank you. We cannot thank you enough.
You know what? It's been. I'm an old guy. I came up through the late '60s and early '70s, so it's great to be at this point in time in my life and have a whole new mission to serve you guys, serve those that served us, and allow that. It gives us the opportunity to go out and do what we do every day. And so, man, it's I had a SEAL buddy tell me the other day, it's just too easy. And then to be able to do what we do for a living, to have a paycheck, playing music, going down the road, and been doing it for a long time, and have met a lot of great guys and women and people, and it's a good balance of music and combat, and helping.
I think music and combat actually go hand in hand, because during the beginning of the global war on terrorism, there was actually I think there were some front runners out there. We all knew as soon as we started deploying our soldiers to these events, we had Toby Keith, we had Charlie Daniels, we had Willie. I mean, we had some big name country that immediately. I mean, old school country. I remember when I was growing up, and you guys immediately put it out in the forefront. Everything. I mean, I saw Charlie Daniels in Germany, Iraq. I mean, I've seen him about 3 times in my military career, obviously deployed, because he's Charlie Daniels. I think Charlie Daniels has served more combat time than than some of the guys in the military now, because he loves to go out.
Well, yeah, sometimes we run into some combat situations in South Georgia. So no, it's he's covered a lot of country, and the one thing he did when we first started doing FOBs, and when we went to Iraq, we would base in Baghdad and do a show there, we'd do the big show at night, but during the day we'd hop some Black Hawks or Apaches and take some guitars and cut the band down to maybe a couple of the other guitar players and go out and play 3 or 4 different FOBs during the day, and then come back and do our big show whether it was Baghdad or whether it's Al Taqaddum or wherever it is. But he covered a lot of FOBs, and some had 75, 100 guys on them. So we got to see the country.
Yeah, definitely.
It was been a great run.
So you also have other members on the board too that are part of your staff. You have of course Charlie Daniels. You have yourself, and then you have Joe Longever, and then you have Mercedes Longever. So can you tell us about what their roles in the organization are?
Well, they had one. Joe was a Vietnam veteran. He was a crew chief on a B-52 during Vietnam, and they were people that had participated in a couple of our fundraisers at the Palm, and they called us, really cold called us, and it was prior to us starting the foundation. They were a key to us starting the foundation. They called us and said, we want to be a part, we want to support in any way we can, and financially they had been big supporters in the past, and so it seemed like a good mix for us. I think we had common thinking, and Joe being a veteran himself, and so it was really a new friendship that kind of blossomed there, but it also turned into a good business for all of us, and and as a team, and to be able to do these things. So they certainly, in all our events that we do, they participate in some shape, form, or fashion. A lot of our stuff is music based, and we don't do a lot of events. We have 3 or 4 events a year that we do. We have some people that donate to us every year, but those events are primarily music events because they're based around Charlie. So the CDB has a big, the whole organization. There's 26 people that work for Charlie full time, and so it's great. It's great to be able to be staffed that way, so that we don't have any overhead. So everything that we do, our overhead gets washed out, and whether it's Longever's company or my company's or Charlie's company, and so it keeps that overhead down. So the biggest part of the dollar we can get to a veteran gets there.
That's awesome. You guys also conduct a lot of the rehabilitation and physical therapy programs with Task Force Dagger. We had them on a few weeks back, and David Keith, he's phenomenal. And he came on the air to talk about that, and he brought you guys up. And again, didn't click until until I saw the name. I'm like, I wonder if it's the same David Corlew that is the same David Corlew.
Yeah, I met Keith a few years ago, and or quite a few years ago. I actually met him. When I started going to Iraq, I did what any self-respecting hillbilly would do, and I bought me a film camera, and I started shooting footage and doing stuff, and I finally got a budget. I don't know, it's probably been 7 or 8 years ago to actually do a 30-minute documentary.
Well,
and
everything's digital now.
And Keith helped me I met Keith through that documentary.
Yeah. That now it's digital now. It's a lot easier, David. You don't have to worry about it because when I was growing up, my parents used to get so mad at wasting all the film that I would go through because I was an amateur filmmaker myself, and I was all but of what 8. So my parents were getting mad that I was
you and Opie.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. So it was kind of funny that it is nowadays with technology. It's pretty easy for you to do a real quick video, make a real quick documentary with some software and stuff. So do you have anything big coming up in the future? Anything major you want to talk about?
Well, we just finished. We've had a great year. I think next year is even going to be better for us. We're excited. The Veterans Center that we built at MTSU. It's a full-service veterans center. There's 25,000 students at MTSU. There's over 1,000 vets there. So the veterans on that campus have a 3,500 square foot center of their own. They have peer-to-peer counseling. They have workstations. We fund a full-time VA employee to work in the Veterans Center. So we're continuing to grow that. We're building an employment piece to it that's already really in place, and we're going to grow that. And then there's some talk about Charlie has done an event for years called the Volunteer Jam, and where he invites a lot of people to come. And for the last 2 years, we've done a jam, and we've had everybody from Eric Church to Skinner to Luke Bryan. We've had Chris Stapleton last year. We had Kid Rock. So Charlie will invite 15 or 20 bands to come play, and we'll play for about 6 hours. And so there is rumor that there might be one in March of 18. So
really, okay. Where were you guys going to have it? You're going to have it where are you going to have it?
We have it in Nashville. We have an arena, where the Predators play. It's a 17,000 seat arena. We start about 6 in the afternoon and rock the house. It's a lot of fun.
God, sounds exciting. Can we come out and play?
We'd come on.
I feel like
I feel like not sure where you'll be playing, but we'll give you a guitar and put you somewhere.
No. I mean, like go up, like play football with you guys. I'm not saying playing. I mean, I'll just just throw the football at me or something. I'll look like I'm doing something. No, because one of our, because Redleg, he's a bassist and he can play. So we're just gonna sign him up.
This is a standing invite, and if it comes to fruition, I'll stay in touch with Amy, and we'll get you guys to come down and hang with us. It's really a fun night. We had Henry Rifle, Anthony Imperiato, that builds the lever action Henry rifles, came down and sponsored it year before last and was very kind to us. Was a big sponsor, and then he went out and sang Devil, went down to Georgia.
Oh man!
My wife actually sings with Charlie. She invited him out, and he came out and sang Devil with Charlie, and ended up giving us another big donation. So,
wow.
Hats off to Henry Rifle, and bring your billfold and come sing with us. No, we'd love for you to be a guest. Come down, be my guest.
Man,
come down.
you
I'll
know how
fix you up
much
with passes and
oh my God, you don't know how this much. Oh, I was just messing with you, David. But oh my God, we're honored that you would invite us to something like that. We totally appreciate that, man. Yep. I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm David Corlew from Charlie's Daniel Band just invited us to go to freaking play with God. Love it.
If I can, just David, you have the most.
Yes, sir.
You have the most awesome mustache I have ever seen on a grown man.
Yeah, well, when you're as old as I am, I've had a lot of practice at it. So.
I've been growing mine for the last 2 years, and one day I hope to get to the level you're at.
Oh man.
I've had this so long that there's nobody in my life now that's ever seen me without it. So when I get ready to go, undercover, I'm gonna shave my mustache off. My wife or my kids won't even know me. So, I'm gone. There'll be a point where I'll wave the cape, shave the mustache, and I'm out of here.
Oh my God!
Just not gonna happen today.
Hey, so the MTSU Center, now that went through a lot of. I mean, actually, it started off a little bit. Didn't it start a little shaky, and then after it gained some traction, it just picked up like right after that, didn't it? I mean, how fast did it go through when you guys built it? Because it's like 2,600 square foot facility, and everybody has committed, and to include Charlie Daniel, everybody put so much money so fast that in its initial inception it started off a little rough, and then it just flew. I mean, what was the issue? Was it because people just didn't think it was going to happen, or
any time you work with the university, and I got to say that MTSU by far, hands down, and I've worked with quite a few universities in different programs. I started off with Lipscomb, a faith-based college here. But we've never had a campus. It took a while for them to respond, but when it's one thing to approach something from a military standpoint or a patriot standpoint, but to be able to encourage or enhance or to convince the administration. We all know the shape of a lot of the campuses around the country. And the thought process that lives there on campus. So to be able to get a school to commit financially and space wise, all universities are short for parking lots and square footage.
Yeah.
And for them to commit that footage and then to commit the financial commitment is to help staff it is phenomenal. So. Everything Charlie does moves a little slow just because we want to be careful.
I understand.
And we want to make the right moves.
Yeah, I understand that. All in all, the university ended up committing $329,000 and actually increased some of the features in there as well. So it was pretty exciting. The dedication is going to happen. Is it going to happen? Did it, or it actually already happened? But did they what was the outpouring of support? Did a lot of people show up to it? Was there? I mean,
well, we had great support. We did it in a small venue there, but we had so much support. We had the adjutant general, the military, the guard in Nashville, Minnie Bears Grinder, who's head of the VA. We have a great community here, and I think that Tennessee in general has has a patriot heart and a giving heart. So being on the board, having Fort Campbell just across the border doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
Anytime we do something, and anytime Charlie decides to pull the strings on something, it's, I think his the moral character that Charlie represents. So we end up getting a lot of support.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome, David. We appreciate you coming on tonight, and we are definitely looking forward for you to come. You can come back anytime. You can just call and just jump on a show if you want. you have that card.
You know what? It's an honor to be on the show. Thank you both, Mike and Doc, for being for letting us be a part of it, but having us, and thank you most of all for the service. Thank you for your service to the country, and the same goes for us. Amy's got all our contact information. If you ever see Charlie playing anywhere, just hit Angela and we'll cover you guys with passes and tickets and anything you want. If there's anything we can do with the station, if you do any giveaways and things like that, you need music and stuff, just let us know.
Oh, most definitely. Thank you very much, David. Oh, you're getting me all worked up here, buddy. God, man, you're a legend. David Corlew from the Journey Home Project and part of the Charlie Daniels Band. Oh my God, dude, we totally appreciate you coming on. And,
what this world needs is a few
take care of your.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. We can't have too many down here. You guys be safe, and God bless America, and God bless you guys.
Airborne all the way. Thank you very
much.
much.
So much, Mr. Corlew.
Thank you so much.
Roger. Out.
Out.
Is that actually a picture of the Antichrist crying? I like it. It's tasty.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Man, welcome back to WTF Nation Radio, Part 3 of Sergeant's Time, to November 2017, broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. Sorry, man. Yeah, legend. That's legend, dude. That you don't. My hands were sweaty. I was nervous. I was shaking. All the notes that I was going to write, that I wrote down to do, because I always do the pre-interview notes and stuff like that, so I have the right questions to. I totally fucking blew it. They didn't even. I was like a freaking fangirl going. And then when he offered it up, I was just joking, of course. Hey, can we come play? Like, ha ha ha. Wow. Overwhelmed. I don't know.
A little bit.
I'm just wow. Awesome town.
A little starstruck.
A little starstruck, dude. You ain't lying. Think about it. So. No, you looking for the whole. Yeah, sorry. You know what? I think I want to mix one of Charlie Daniels' musics. I think me and Jay ready to go back to the studios and have a Saturday Night Savagery moment, do some mixing, have a rave or some shit.
Oh, we haven't had one of those in a while.
We've not. No. So, yeah, man. Well, yeah. Wow, I'm excited. Oh my God, sorry. Everyone's like, "Oh, what do you mean? You listen to country music, guys, man? Who doesn't listen? You listen to that?
Listen to a little bit of everything."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like he was saying, "Devil Went Down to Georgia" was the original rap song.
Yeah, exactly. Straight up, he was straight spitting hot fire.
Literally beat
hot.
The devil at his own game.
That's right. And then that's when yep. Dude, that's awesome. That is so freaking awesome. Well, today's part 3 Sergeant's Time. We always go through the inbox and laugh about shit, what's going on. Laughing at U.S. Army WTF moments, talking about all the posts that is happening currently. Of course, you've known. Congratulations to all the sergeants and majors select for active duty and EGR. Congratulations to all you individuals that have been selected for Sergeant Major. That is good shit. Good luck to in your future endeavors, and may you learn all that you need to know in the School of Cutting Grass and PT belts. So
I heard you were issued your own lawn while you were there.
They actually teach you how to do 2062s for lawns, because that's the first time a sergeant major ever sees a 2062 again after being a Joe for so long. And so what they do is they make them this is a 2062. This is a DA form 3161. This is what Geeks A stands for, and all these super codes and all that. So that way sergeant majors can go back and point fingers, put their hands on their hips, and walk around with coffee. So anywho. So we had a Q&A today with the judge. Dude is like freaking he's cranky. People don't know the judge. He could be cranky.
A little salty.
Yeah, he's a little salty, man. So he sat down and talked with some who I don't know who interviewed him. I think it was our PAO, our interim PAO, because I don't think we have a PAO yet. But anyways. He sat down and shot the shit and with some of the admin teams and did a real quick impromptu interview and started talking about the Bergdahl trial. Started talking about what was happening, some of the Q&A, and talking about what's the status now. Everybody's freaking throwing their freaking 2 bits of what's supposed to be in the comments and all that other shit. So. Like for instance, one of his comments is that he's saying, hey, look, he's just talking about the stuff. It's been years since he's been in a court. All he's doing is just giving some of his background insight, and that's all he was doing. Brought up the fact that some of the portions was classified due to the fact that, of course, probably had some op orders and briefs from 2009 in there. Some of the stuff that we did talk about, how many people actually died or how many people were actually injured looking for Bergdahl specifically. He mentioned that as well. So, from a legal standpoint, obviously, technically, there was only people who got wounded and maimed. Nobody actually died looking for Bergdahl. So that's one thing that he brought up. Another thing's talking about the practicality of the death penalty and getting time. It's a pretty good interview, actually. The judge is a fucking angry dude, man.
Yeah,
he's fucking angry.
I liked a lot of his answers.
Yeah, his answers were actually,
technically yes, practically not likely.
Not like exactly that. And when he was talking about was getting the death penalty.
Yeah.
Or
even a life sentence.
Yeah, he was talking about that. So he brought some pretty good insight in that, and he was also talking about possibly getting time. Don't know. He says probably again, the judge is the WTF. A jag, and he's all fucking cranky and crusty. So he's fucking I'm more likely to trust his method of practicing law because it's not cherry, I guess you'd say. You know what I mean? It's not very in other words, it's with experience that he's talking from. He's not talking about the fact that he's not a barracks lawyer. He didn't graduate from the Fort Hood School of Barracks Law.
No, legitimate lawyer.
Yeah, he's like legit lawyer. I mean, like goes and asks to get teach at other lawyers' schools to lawyer.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's badass. He was talking about his physicality, because the defense were crying about what he had to go through while he got captured. Well, you know what? If you didn't walk off your post, you wouldn't have gotten captured, and you would not been given Man Love Thursday. So it's one of those things where it kind of freaking it's kind of like a cause and effect type thing. If you don't text and drive, you won't run into somebody because you weren't paying attention. Just don't text and drive, right? Type of thing.
You did it to yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So all the discussion was asking for this, and then he I guess they're calling him a cat whisperer or some shit like that. I guess because he's a weirdo. But he did say for people that are threatening him, hey, it's not worth it. He's a convicted felon, and best hope for him will be working with cats. And that's when the interviewer said cats, and judge goes, yeah, a witness testified yesterday that Bergdahl was the cat whisperer, and she would hire him to take care a ranch full of cats in Arkansas or
My
some
God.
shit. Yeah, that's fucking funny, fucking hilarious. I like the way he said it. To take care of a ranch full of cats in Arkansas or some shit. Fucking Judge, man. Fucking hilarious. So that was one of the big key points of the interview, because if you don't then get the full facts of it, he's giving us a specific law. Well, I guess you would say it's a lawyer's point of view. This guy, the judge, throws some shit out there and he's telling you the fucking facts straight up. So don't speculate if you didn't go to law school. If you didn't know it. If you know anything about the UCMJ, I mean, I as a first sergeant throw fucking counselings out recommending to the commander that he should punish so-and-so, but it's up to the commander, and then it goes up to the JAG, and then JAG says, no, First Sergeant Ice, you can't do that, you can't make them walk around dragging cinder blocks all the time type shit, you know what I mean? So, anyways. But anyways, that was a big one there. And then we had some of the contests that we've had for the best costume. Did you see who won the best costume anyways? You don't even know. God damn it.
I don't know, but I would like to say that the Lost LT is played out.
You know what? Thank you very much. But we're looking at it, dude, come on, we're looking at it from our point of view.
Yeah, we're old and we've seen them a lot of times.
Yeah, exactly. So we saying something is kind of like, yeah, it's played out. But to the new kids coming in, if you want to stolen valor yourself and dress like an LT when you're a private, then you might not want to do that.
Yeah, probably not.
You get in trouble. No, I think there was a kid that dressed up as the security awareness guy. One of the guys that was dressed up in the blue velvet, the blue fucking vest. And you freaking, if you've ever done the cyber awareness training, then you have to fucking do that shit. And there's a guy that's on there.
I saw that.
Yeah, so he fucking I think he took it. I think he was the one that took the cake. I wasn't part of the judging process because I don't play in that realm anymore. They let me go in the inbox sometimes and say shit, and then I fucked up a post one time, man. It was fucked up. People didn't get the joke, and then somebody had to come on there and say, "Hey, excuse me, an old guy was on here." And it was like an admin update. Sorry, old guy was on here. He doesn't know how to fucking admin. Get the fuck off. So I don't get to admin much.
I would have thought that I would have voted for the Mr. Meeseeks pulling CQ duty.
Yes, that was a good one too. Yeah, what's wrong with that? And the Army is cool with doing you this stream? No, Eulogy. The Army is not cool with me doing the stream. The Army is not cool with anybody in the active duty community doing any streams because they have this fucking post, or think, right post, or some shit, some social media policy now that people get butthurt, and you can't do that. So luckily for me, if they want to go and try to find me at the basement of the Alamo, they can go right ahead. That's why at WTF Nation Radio, we broadcast from Area 51, the Pentagon, or the basement of the Alamo, all satellite courses to the secret underground bunker of the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence. And that's it. Yeah.
I'm actually broadcasting from the cargo door of the space shuttle right now.
Doc Madness was in an insane asylum taking care of patients.
Yes.
But yes, no, the army would have an issue with that. Of course, that's it. That's why you don't get to see my face. Yes, I'm serious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still, yeah. The Army gets butthurt now. Hey, Cubby, what are you doing? I'm posting on Facebook.
You're fired.
Oh, man. Yep.
That's true. Any job now with social media. You post the wrong thing on there and McDonald's finds out you're out of a job.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. I'm getting all these freaking... Everyone's fucking sending me shit. Dude, are you... Because you know what's really funny is when you have your soldiers, before certain commands started blocking Army WTF moments or WTF Nation Radio, certain commands started blocking it off their net. But before that, I used to walk in and I would hear my soldiers listening to it. And they're all inside and they have their computers up and shit. And then next thing you know, you hear, here he comes, oh, fuck, and you hear rustling and all that, and I hear my voice, and through technology, I don't sound like that, and everybody knows that I don't sound like this in real life. I don't just how I sound on the phone, how I sound in person is not like this, so it's really hard. As a matter of fact, I've been accused, and I've had the sergeant major of the military district for Washington send me a PM saying, "Hey, fucker, we know it's you," and he is the official narrator for the Department of Defense and all the third old guard. If you listen to the Memorial Day ceremony of this year, there was a wreath laying ceremony, and it was at Arlington, and there was a guy there. He is the narrator for MDW, and he literally is my doppelganger. And so
Really?
he sounds like straight up, and everybody was swearing up to God that this guy's Ice. Actually, he is. I am that guy. I'm stationed up at Fort McNair. Where the fuck's the MDW at?
You don't even know where you're at, dude.
Not even know where I'm at. Anyway, yeah, exactly. Well, I'm old, so yes, eulogy. I have to. Yes, I was afforded too. I have.
So was I.
Yep, I have had people say that I've been there. Let's see, what was the other one? I was accused of being an SGL at ALC. I was accused of being an instructor at Paddle Staff. What else? Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, Force 21 redesign. Ooh. Ugh. Yeah. So yeah.
You're Charlie 9 or 2, aren't you?
No, not me. I am not Charlie 9 or 2. Not the guys are talking about in the shit in here. Eulogy and freaking Doc. Wait a minute, isn't somebody's birthday today?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Isn't it freaking? It's our dude, man. It's old GI.
Old GI.
Old GI from the bottom of my cold ice heart, on behalf of WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments. Happy birthday, dude! Happy birthday, old GI. I know you've turned a crisp, young 30 years old, and
you now have to change your username to older GI.
Yeah, older GI now, GI. That's right, old GI. So happy birthday, brother. Always good to celebrate a birthday with you, bro. But so I'm not gonna do the D-Max happy birthday because I know sometimes that drives you up the wall.
Now we'll send Jose to your house to sing it to you in person.
Oh yeah, I was about to say what we could do is we could see if Jose can sneak you up a bottle of hooch or maybe some some cigars or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Will he sing it in Spanish?
I don't know.
Feliz cumpleaños.
Yeah. Well, Jose, I just found out is downrange.
Really?
Yeah. I saw some DTS authorizations come across the fucking desk, and the next thing you know, they're like, "Do this now, Jose." I'm like, "Whoa, WTF stat." So
that dude does more TDY.
I know, dude. I'm hating. His GTC is gold. It's not fucking silver. His GTC is fucking straight up. It is the Citibank gold, and he gets platinum status.
Nice.
Yeah. So going back what I was saying, I'm not. No, the Army is not going to be cool. So if you ever look at the Memorial Day ceremony with the, you'll hear myself introduce the president and introduce the Secretary of Defense.
Very nice. Very nice, Ice.
Very nice. Yeah, this is nice. But anyways, so a lot of great costumes. No, we're not. The domain page, U.S. Army WTF Moments, will not take down that dead on arrival. Sorry. Do you know what we do for a living in the Army? In case anybody was asking, we kill people, and we kill people. Hang on, real quick. We kill people. We have weaponry and vehicles that are meant to kill people. So if you can't,
but I've been trained to kill people.
So yeah, so if you can't take the "I kill people" jokes and stuff like that, then you're in the wrong branch of service. Actually, you're just shouldn't be in the military.
Yeah, or a cop.
Yeah, or a cop. Yeah, exactly. Because there will be
a first responder.
Or exactly that. Because if some of that is exactly that, you have to be willing to look the fucking bad guy in the face and shoot his ass. You know what? If you hesitate in the moment of truth with me, I will pull you off fucking gun line and say, dude, get the fuck out of here, because if you're looking at a bad guy differently than you're looking at me, and you don't want to shoot the guy, then what the fuck am I? You know what I mean? So fuck that. That post isn't coming down. Sorry. So what it is, it's an ambulance, and it's a tracked ambulance. It is a 113. I didn't even know they still had those fuckers, man. It's an M113 ambulance, and it says dead on arrival. It's kind of like ha ha ha, you know, joke. Ha, ha. Isn't that badass? That's like fucking badass. That's
it is.
That sounds badass. To have that, that's like a tanker having on the Boer evacuator annihilator or anarchy or chaos. You know.
Yeah. You name your truck. You name your tank.
Yeah, you name your tank. Exactly that.
Somebody's butthurt about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
It's
somebody's
fucking hilarious.
Somebody's butthurt about dead on arrival painted on the side of a 113 ambulance, right? I was in Delta Company 164 Armor at Fort Stewart, Georgia, and because I was in Delta Company, the name on the tank had to start with the D. You know, Alpha Company starts with an A, Bravo Company starts with a B. So my tank commander decided that we were going to name our tank in Delta Company Donkey Punch.
Hell yeah.
Oh, it gets better. Donkey Punch was one of 2 tanks that they chose to be the entrance vehicles for our brigade ball.
Yeah. Donkey Punch
So they parked these 2 tanks in front of the where the ball was going on, right?
Uh-huh.
Put the guns over the, cross the guns over the top of each other. You had to walk under the gun tubes to get into the ball. So you had to walk under Donkey Punch to get to the ball.
That's pretty funny.
Oh, it was great. I loved it. But people are getting butthurt about dead on arrival on the side of an ambulance.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I mean, maybe they've got like an ice-shaped dick to cool the butthurt. You know,
one can only hope.
Too much butthurt causes hemorrhoids.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you sound like you're far away.
Oh, okay.
You sound like you're doing Grover on Sesame Street.
How about now?
Near? Far?
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Good. I'm playing with some shit. How about you? How about you, Mom? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm playing with my sounds and stuff.
No, I can.
Okay, awesome. So, anyways, so the dead on arrival shit, fuckers, get over it. Get fucking. I like this exactly. Cock strong. That's right, Doc Derek.
There you go. Charlie Company.
Ball swag or something like that. It's another one. Kevin Spacey.
Come on.
What? You don't like Kevin Spacey?
I do.
Yeah, exactly. There's some exactly. So if you don't fucking like it though, that's my biggest thing. If you don't like those names when we are an instrument of WOA, then then you're forget it. You don't be in a organization that goes to WOA, and you'll be all right.
If you're butthurt about dead on arrival, don't ever look at any photos of World War II aircraft.
Right.
Oh my God, I know they had the most.
Your fucking head would explode.
Your head. Oh my God, the legit ones from my grandfather had on his bomber. He had like this chick with her ass in the air on a skirt with fucking holding bombs and shit. Whoa, whoa. Pin up shit.
Kitties out and everything.
Oh man. Oh yeah.
Oh,
They need the wambulance.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I'm not gonna tell you what my MOS. What's my MOS? Trying to narrow it down, aren't you? Nice try. Nice try, ISIS.
You know what my MOS is?
Sorn.
DD-214, biatch.
That's my MOS. It's Sorn. I'm sergeanting. I'm Sorn. So what was the other one? The other one was a Soldier Jane. Who is this Soldier Jane chick? She seems to be trending on Twitter right now.
Who?
Is she hot?
Soldier Jane. She looks cute. Hang on, let me jump on the let me jump on the twit wagon right here and see what she looks like.
Let me check the twits.
Yeah, check the twit wagon, and she looks like she's pretty cute. I'm just saying.
The Twitters? I know them all.
At Sergeant Jane Doe. She looks very
really.
good. Yep. See what she.
That's not Twitter. That's Tumblr. Never mind.
It's Sergeant Jane Doe is her hashtag, but her name is Soldier Jane. That's her Twitter. That's her Twitterling. But yeah, she's got some pretty good chick her chick posts are pretty cool. My favorite part about getting new followers is watching half of them abandon me once they realize how much of an asshole I am. You are not an asshole, Soldier Jane. I thought only dudes could be assholes.
I know I'm one.
How I'm about to say? Yeah, exactly.
Mom.
Yeah. You see the way she has her. I like her shit. She's got some. I'm not advising that you follow her at Sergeant Jane Doe at Twitter, but she yeah, she's got some military like stuff on here, and she's already got like 4,100 followers, 15K on the tweets, triple nickel on the following, and 42,000 likes. Man, she's got a lot of freaking She's got a lot of likes there. So anyway, she's like, "What's Army life? What is life in the Army like today? I have an event scheduled for 0845, and someone called me at 6:35, asking me where I was for the 0845 event. You damn right. You new sergeants major. You better not fucking do that shit. I hate that fucking shit.
It just sums it up right there, isn't it?
Oh man, these new sergeant, you new sergeant majors, you need a sergeant majoring, and you need to freaking straight up just freaking." You know, the new army is coming in, and they're in now, and they're gonna be your first sergeants, and you're gonna have to get used to things like why, like soldiers actually ask why now. What else? They're gonna you actually have to explain something and articulate to somebody who has 5 bachelor's degrees in whatever, and then you have to write correctly. So when you send an email out, it can't look like one of my mad texts that you guys see me when I respond on freaking on Facebook. I don't care. But you as sergeant major, when you're sergeant majoring, that's your job, man. You're supposed to be the coach, training and mentoring for those sergeants. And if you fuck up, they will post it all over Facebook or Army Times. You'll see it because the Army Times, like, they love to see that shit. So, could you guys still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because every time I see, I'm looking at Mom, and she looks like she's just in a daze, and so I'm just wondering if she's not either paying attention to me or.
I am. I'm just tired.
Just tired. You're just like, oh, I'm just gonna talk.
And there's background noise. I was just kind of tuning into that.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So the next one is what was the next post? The next post is the Marine. Oh, yeah. So 16th MP Brigade, Jose has a few questions for you. So send us a message, please. Please send us a message. Jose wants to speak to you. We know we have had some responses, and just send us what you know of what you think you know. Just send us a message, and you will be queried. So another post we had, which is kind of fucked up, is that we are getting a lot of fucking drama about some of the things that we posted on here. I guess that fucking that kid that ran over everybody mowing down people on that bike path near the World Trade Center, fucking has asked to fly an ISIS flag in his fucking room.
Access denied.
Yeah, no. and said that he had no problems doing what he did, and he was laughing about it. If you look at look at his fucking face, dude. He
looks psycho.
Yeah,
he just looks like a goat fucker.
Yeah, he just, oh man, this motherfucker. So, anywho, whoa! Don't be saying fuck the MPs. ICE loves MPs. How dare you say fuck the MPs? Why would you say that, man? Let me guess. You got a ticket from an MP, or let me guess.
Probably
an MP. MP.
Stop breaking the law, asshole.
Yep. But anyway, so this little fuckstick, I don't know, is it lately? I think we're seeing a new jihadist fashion. They're growing neck beards now. You notice that? You notice their beards are now getting shaved more down by their jawline? And
no.
Yeah, if you don't, that's like the new fucking the new jihad style, the new jihad fashion there. Hang on, I'm gonna.
I noticed the mustaches are starting to go away too.
Yeah, and you notice they got that little. It's almost like they, the douchebag chin strap, fucking little thin beards and shit, like the fucking Jersey Shore fuckers.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's the jihadi Jersey Shores, I guess. Look.
They're slowly but surely converting to be Amish.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. That's what it looks like. It looks like fucking an Amish dude. But anyways, dude, I'm still overwhelmed about fucking talking to Trump. I don't all the stuff that I wanted to talk about in the third hour. I couldn't get it out.
It all went out the window.
It all went out the window, man. Totally went out the window.
Holy shit.
Holy shit. Hello. So another news. 2 Navy SEALs are under suspicion of strangling a Green Beret in Mali. What we're knowing right now is that they have been obviously flown back. They have been flown out of the country, and naval criminal authorities are investigating whether 2 members of the Navy's SEAL Team 6 strangled to death an Army Green Beret on assignment in Mali in June. Staff Sergeant Logan J. Melger, a 34-year-old veteran with 2 deployments in Afghanistan, was found dead in the embassy housing area he shared with other special operations forces. The soldiers and superiors in Stuttgart almost immediately suspected. So they already knew. Immediately suspected foul play and dispatched an investigating officer to the scene within 24 hours. The agents from the Army CID spent months on the case before handing it off to the naval. Months on the case. I wonder what the fuck happened. I wonder what was going on. If it was months, something had to have fucking happened. Either the guy had fucking... That probably had to been fucking... Either had some fucking shit-talking moment or something like that, and they were drinking. Or one of them found out one was doing some other shit. You know what I mean?
I vote for they found out that he had some shit on Hillary.
I didn't even think about that. Fucking Hillary. Don't get me started.
He had inside information on the Clinton Foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, we shouldn't be talking shit like that, man. Green on green crime. That's fucked up.
Sorry.
Fucking anytime any one of your fellow service members turns on you like that, that's obviously some shady shit.
Yeah.
But when it comes to fucking like somebody from SEAL Team 6 doing it, man, that's kind of wow. That's kind of like fucking wow. I mean, they're supposed.
I don't think. Speculating, I don't think that we can chalk that one up to inter-service rivalry. I don't think it would get to murder.
I'm thinking that too. I'm more thinking it's going to be something was happening. The Green Beret found out, and then the SEALs decided to take it in their own hands.
One of them was playing Jody. That's my bet.
You think so?
Like legitimately, yeah.
Oh, okay. You know something we don't? Shit.
No.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
Throwing that out there.
Just throwing it out there. Okay. So the former Fort Leavenworth. You guys remember we covered a story about that lieutenant that got set on fire by that civilian employee at Fort Leavenworth? Remember that back in the day? I went on a fucking angry rant, and fucking went off how fucking Fort Leavenworth. Everybody knew that this guy was fucking doing some shit, and everybody knew that she had issues with this fucking this dude, but because this guy was so liked, and maybe you're being mean, and she even said, I told you he was fucking like this. So that employee, that hospital employee, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for setting that nurse on fire. And
Good.
So fuck yeah, dude. So if you guys don't remember that, a former employee at a Fort Leavenworth military hospital attacked that Army nurse with a razor blade and a pair of scissors, and then lit her on fire, and was sentenced today with a statutory maximum of 20 years in federal prison plus 3 years of supervised release. Everyone said he had issues, and the guy had it out for her. Whatever you want to have. Everyone has their fucking feel sorry for me story shit on this dude, but the guy's name was Clifford Curry. So he was found guilty. One account of assault with an intent to commit murder. So
yeah,
she got fucked up, man. She got really fucked up. But she is healing. and she's gonna go back into the nursing. And so yeah, it's pretty awesome. But and just freaking, it's just shocked. And then when somebody was subduing the guy, she said, "I told you this would happen." Everyone was like, "No, no, no, no." And she complained about, she complained about this fucking dude for months. Fucking convicted motherfucker.
But you can't do anything about it until he actually does something.
Yeah,
And
exactly. Welcome to the
thank God she survived.
Yeah, exactly. Set on fire, eulogy. Set on fire. Straight up, he had set her on fucking fire, and she was fucking going off on the motherfucker while she was on fire, and everyone was like wondering, oh, well, maybe she was. Maybe. Oh my God. Okay, look, this is totally not Sergeant's Time related, but I guess somebody committed suicide with a chainsaw after attacking his wife with an axe.
Yeah, I saw that.
That work out?
Holy
Wait,
fuck.
what?
I was trying to figure out the logistics of that when I saw it come across the wire too.
Okay, this is coming across the wires right now. Why the fuck eulogy? Why the fuck can we just go back to 1000 BC rules and torture this guy to death? Yeah, I know. Or set him on fire at least, and then set him on fire again. That should happen. Somebody who does a crime like that, that should be their punishment. So they get set on fire, then they heal, then they get set fire again, and then they heal. So if you survive getting set on fire 5 times and healing, then you're good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's the equivalent of. Just like somebody who rapes a chick should get kicked in the nuts so many fucking times until there's nothing left over, and then rape them. Sorry, I don't feel sorry for anybody who rapes a chick. All right. So, police in Northern Virginia says a man used a chainsaw to commit suicide after he attacks his wife with an axe after a domestic dispute. According to WJLA, police were called to a resident in Fairfax County, and a 70-year-old man was attacking his 76-year-old wife. Wow.
With an axe.
With an axe. She made her way. She saw her
then-
father hitting her mother with the weapon. Reports said when the police arrived on scene, the man was found on the garage floor with self-inflicted injuries caused by a chainsaw.
I don't. Yeah.
Wow, dude. Wow. How do you do that? I mean,
yeah.
How do you commit yourself to I mean, could you imagine being the first responder showing up to seeing that shit?
Did this
it'd be a fucking mess.
That's what I'm saying. It would be a mess and a half.
Wow.
God, that's fucking. Oh.
What do you do? Walk on her wet floor?
Oh my God. You guys are just fucking callous tonight. when gay chicken goes bad, you guys are fucking. Anyways. Oh,
I'm still trying to figure this out. Are they sure it was suicide, or did the dude just, slip on the previously offended wet floor?
I don't know, man. I just think it's freaking. Personally, I think it's fucking hilarious that everyone talks about how, old people, they're like, how kids have no sense of brutality. Like kids will fucking beat the fuck out of each other and kick you and stomp on each other's head and shit like that because they don't realize it, right? Old people are the same way. They're like reversed. They're like turning into kids again. And so, could you imagine? Because old dude's like, "Hey, bitch, fuck up," and he's fucking hitting her. And then the next thing you know, yeah, exactly. You're hearing all
At
this
that
fucking.
point, they just don't give a fuck.
That's what I'm saying. They don't give. They're old. They don't give a fuck. They're 70. What am I gonna do? Throw me in jail? And the next thing you know, he fucking beats the crap out of her and shit. And the next thing you know, that's it. They're done. What's up, Tracy? Oh my God, what are you talking about?
Oh my God. Your chainsaw sound effect. I own a chainsaw and I know exactly how that goes.
Yeah, exactly. And that, like I said, I played with power tools before, and I know how chainsaws work. And so, but anyways.
God.
So, real quick, so what'd you guys think of the? I'm gonna say it finally. Okay, you fuckers. Yes, I'll admit it. The World Series. Congratulations.
No, I didn't watch it.
Congratulations to the Houston Astros for winning their first World Series in franchise history. The ball club fucking started in 1962. And, I was kind of thinking, as a Dodgers fan, because the Dodgers have won World Series before, several of them, that it was kind of it's kind of good that this happened to Houston. Does that make sense? It was kind of one of those things where it's almost like how 9/11, Flash said this too, how 9/11 happened and then the Yankees went to the World Series. They just needed that. You know what I mean? They needed, because they were just going through the Hurricane Harvey shit and all that flooding. So it was kind of they needed to have that win, that boost, I guess.
It's a little suspect.
What do you mean it's a little
I
suspect?
want to do.
What's
I wanna do-
your conspiracy theory on this now?
Yeah, I want to do a conspiracy theory research on teams that win national world championships following a disaster in their hometown.
Yes.
Wow. You both
It happened with the Saints.
You both
It happened in the New York Jets after 9/11.
You both,
or the Giants, excuse me.
You both are freaking. Are you guys hitting on something there? Is that you think that's actually legit?
Yeah, it's HARP.
It's a little suspect.
It's a little suspect that all of a sudden, when you think about it, I told some friends while the World Series was happening and they were winning, is that it's just the equivalent. You ever see those? And it sounds fucked up, but you ever see those football games and stuff, or those basketball games where they let the autistic kid or the kid with special needs make a basket and then he wins the game? That's the way I equivalated it to. Equivalated it. That's the. I equate that to.
Equalization it to.
I equivalate on the resuscitate of the necessitate of the.
You keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
No, it does not. So that's what I think it is. I think that it was like letting the special needs kid win the game.
Yeah. Houston gets hit by a hurricane. The Astros win the World Series.
Yeah. So what's
World Trade Center gets hit, and the Giants win the Super Bowl.
And the Yankees win the World Series too.
And the Yankees win the World Series. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, think about that shit though too. That was the only game. That was because I just come off of the fucking. I just come off the boycott, so I had to catch up on a lot of shit. So I really wasn't into the fucking World Series this time.
Yeah.
But again, it's okay. The Houston Astros won; they deserved it, and they're good to go. It did happen after Katrina. That's what we're talking about. The Saints won the Super Bowl right after Katrina. So yeah, there is that. I didn't think about that too.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and I'm not saying that it's one of these negative conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat conspiracy theories. I think it might be like a morale thing, and these teams in these cities need it.
I honestly think it could possibly be that they were actually really fucking angry. You know what I mean? That they were angry at the fact that they were going. You know what I mean? That it was kind of like they were doing this for their city. And it was for their state. They kind of gave them that was like a no-fail type mentality. You know what I mean? The Dodgers, anyways, after those fucking runs were scored, they just kind of like petered the fuck out, and that was it. Everyone's like, man, whatever. You guys aren't even gonna fucking try. You guys made it to Game 7. You know what? Because it was a good World Series altogether. So I was thinking, fuck, man, they're at Game 7, man. This is gonna be a fucking good Game 7. And no, Dodgers like, wah, 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 wah. We're done.
Yeah, we don't have the drive in us.
Oh, we don't have the drive.
Meanwhile, the Astros are over there going, we gotta play this game because our houses are flooded.
Yeah, we have no place to go back to.
We got no place to go home.
That's fucked up. One of the Astros players, I guess, proposed to his girlfriend on live TV. So that was pretty cool. I mean, that's like a fucking Disneyland when you wish upon a star moment. That was all right. Let me see what else. What other highlights of it? There was really no highlights in Game 7. It was just the fact that fucking the Dodgers just couldn't catch up.
They just self-destructed.
Yeah,
Game 7.
Yeah, exactly. Game 7 just like I said, man. I was hoping. I was like, ooh, fucking Game 7. This is gonna be a good fucking game. I thought it was gonna be like Game 2, a fucking home run derby left and right. Fuckers were just hitting home runs left and right. I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be awesome. Good fucking defense. Good fucking home run shit. I loved it. It was awesome. And then it was actually like a normal Game 7 was like a normal baseball game. Yeah, who won? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. But on a happier note, that kid that fucking kneeled from the Oakland A's, the catcher, who said he did that because he was oppressed, and talked about police brutality and said that he's never had any encounters with police, but he's heard and he's been whatever. Well, now he really had a encounter with the police. He got busted for a weapons charge, and of course he made the big deal about the fucking getting denied service at a fucking restaurant. But he was arrested on a gun charge about a week ago. And
yeah, he was. That was the restaurant thing was here in Alabama.
Yeah, I was about to say. So what it was is that he fucking was pointing. He pointed a gun at a female food service deliverer, and thought he thought it was funny and shit. So, well, now you're part of the you might as well just go to the NFL, dude, because now you're qualified. Because you hardly ever hear about. You know what? Come to think of it, I don't even think Major League Baseball has had a scandal recently.
No. Latest one, wasn't it the steroids?
That was but that was years ago. That was Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire.
Yeah.
All those guys. Think about
Jose
it.
Canseco, yeah.
Jose Canseco. Those
I
guys.
guess they're due for one.
Yeah, they need a scandal. Because right now, let's see, because the golf's got Tiger fucking up left and right, and then they have.
Yeah, he just got sentenced.
Oh, he did get sentenced?
Yeah.
What did he get?
He got some vacation rehab thing.
Oh God, of course.
Yeah, because he's a celebrity and he's got money, so.
Yeah.
I think they sentenced him to 8 weeks at the Lindsay Lohan Rehabilitation Center.
at the Lindsay Lohan, I forgot what room I woke up in. Fucking rehab center. No, dude. He got nailed for fucking. He was drunk. Got arrested on a drunk charge and all that shit. So. He was.
No, it was prescription drugs is what it was.
Was it?
Yeah, he was under the influence of narcotics, but they were prescription drugs. And I'm not sure. I can't remember if they were actually his prescribed drugs or somebody else's.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, well.
In any case,
yeah,
he wasn't supposed to be on this medication.
No, of course not. Well, you're not. I mean, some states they don't give a shit if you're taking it, but obviously it's illegal for you to take a prescribed that's not prescribed to you.
Right.
But yeah, karma. That's right. That's karma. That is total karma. So the whole thing is that again is that golf's had that, and then obviously the fucking NFL shit. I'm still boycotting the NFL. Major League Baseball. Again, I'm no longer boycotting them because they're not doing it. It's almost like they're not. I don't know. It's weird. It seems like they don't fucking. Baseball's kind of like, haha, whatever, dude. Shut the fuck up. They don't care.
Yeah, they're the good kid hiding over there in the corner while Big Brother's getting his ass whooped.
Well, they're trying to. Yeah, they're trying to be good. So, anyways, so in other news, we got the sailors. Now check this out. This is Captain Obvious. The sailors driving the USS McCain were not qualified to be on watch. The Navy says.
You don't say.
Sometimes reporting, dudes. It's fucking. No shit, they were not authorized and they're not qualified to be on watch. That's why the fucking ship got in a fucking collision with another fucking ship.
Yeah, no shit. That's like the Joe Buck of reporting right there.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously it would seem apparent that the sailors were not qualified to be on watch. No shit.
You think?
Fucking love it. Oh man. So everyone, obviously, if you guys don't know the story, what happened? The USS John S. McCain was collided with the cargo ship. There was obviously some failures involved in the operations running that ship, and then of course the majority of the casualties were crushed within their crew compartments. due to the fucking. I couldn't even imagine. Have you ever been in the shit before? I've been in a shit, and it's fucking cramped.
Yeah, it is.
So I couldn't even imagine something being a couple inches from your face. All of a sudden, you just get pressed into it. You know what I mean? It's fucking poor kids.
What a way to go, man.
Yeah, no, it is. It sucks. So obviously the Navy relieved a bunch of motherfuckers from doing it. So, but anyways, in other news, the Senate's getting pissed off at the Secretary of the Army, because or the new man that was been nominated to do it. Was actually told and chewed out that, hey, look, don't fucking waste billions on major projects that go nowhere. Mark Esper is the new inbound guy coming in, and he's a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel, West Point graduate, Gulf War veteran, served as Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense under George W. and has spent 7 years working for a fucking defense contractor, Raytheon. Yeah, go figure. He'll be totally a perfect person to be the fucking acting Secretary of the Army. So one of the senators said that,
and the guy did not spend billions on projects that won't go anywhere.
Yeah. For example, over the last 10 years, we've wasted $40 billion, like the Future Combat System, the Comanche helicopter, the Crusader howitzer, and the Joint Tactical Radio System, and the Distributed Common Ground System. I didn't even know these things were in there. And then also there was a $6 billion failure called the WIN-T, also known as a Warfighter Information Network Tactical. I didn't even know these things existed. You know,
I knew about the Comanche.
Yeah, I knew about the Comanche. That was the stealth helicopter.
And I knew about the Crusader.
Yep. Of course, everyone's getting the fucking ass. You're right. Is that a gunshot or some shit?
No, that was me coughing. I apologize.
That was a cough? Dude, that sounded
like
someone...
a cough.
Sounded like someone busted a cap. Also talking about the soaring costs of trying to replace an M16 M4 rifle. Again, I have heartburn with this because at the time, the Chief of Staff of the Army, General Casey, was at one time involved in this fucking talking about replacing the M4 and also the shit, and Colt and FN and all these fucking rifle companies were coming out of the woodwork to do, and Heckler and Koch to come out and do these weapons testing systems for the Army. And then all of a sudden the Army voted on the M4. Well, ironically, General Casey retired and all of a sudden popped up as the board of directors at Colt, who won the contract for the M4. So that was like some fucking shady ass shit, man. That's why I don't believe in the AUSA shit. Everyone's like, AUSA. You guys remember back in the day when the first sergeants used to stand in front of the fucking battalions and tell you better join the AUSA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why do we need a railgun? So we can shoot fuckers from 100 miles away. Exactly. And I think it's more of
a piece of aluminum.
Yeah. And it's actually probably a psychological effect to hear like that fucking brown firing and shit. But you know what I mean? How it supposedly makes this weird fucking guitar sound. But the whole thing was that's why I don't believe in us going to the AUSA conference. It is a private organization. Man, we can't even get our soldiers anything for like fucking cleaning supplies, and their fucking their buildings are all fucking ransacked and shit, growing with fucking mold. And then yet you have, and I refuse to do this. The only thing that we really pushed was CFC, because that way there was actual charitable organizations that did shit. We can actually donate. And then AAR, because AAR actually does do shit for soldiers.
Yes, they do.
But AUSA, all the guys on the board members are fucking generals. They're all generals. Okay, and then you have the obligatory enlisted affairs, which is our bunch of retired sergeant majors. And then if you've ever been to the AUSA conference, it is a fucking... it's a fucking trade show. So let me get this straight. I get busted, and I get the division JAG to come down and chew my ass out because I was having a fucking car wash for the fucking unit. I couldn't raise funds for fucking the soldiers for their welcome home ceremonies for the guys that were deployed downrange, or when I came back from downrange and I found out that my rear D was doing that shit too. And then they get fucking screamed at and legal and all that. And then, you know, nothing against Judge, but there are some members in his community that they're gotcha people, you know, gotcha, you know.
Yep.
And then now the Army says no, that's wrong because it's a nonprofit. It's a whatever. Man, fuck that. What do you see when you go in there? As a matter of fact, we talked about this in a couple of sergeants' time past. That's where they introduced your new tank.
Yep. The M1A2A3.
Yeah.
Or V3.
Yeah, they rolled out your new tank, and then they fucking had all the motherfuckers that were involved in building that motherfucker. You want a job? You want a job?
I remember going to a conference, and that's where I got the new CAT card.
Yeah, I remember that. And you're right. Whatever happened to the XM8? The XM8, one of the most outstanding weapons, because I was actually a part of the XM8 firing testing program, and that is
canceled.
That weapon, it is badass. I was also part of the SCAR. I was involved in the SCAR and the XM8, and I tell you what, that was badass. The XM8 is basically an Americanized version of the German HK G36, and that little fucking weapon rocked. It was smaller and maybe a little bit heavier, but I guarantee it, that thing was badass. Again, canceled. Because the M4 canceled. Because the M4 once again got pushed through the wickets faster than everybody else.
So somebody could get a job.
Yeah, so somebody could get a job, exactly. It's fucking pathetic.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. So again, I don't believe in that. Oh, you can't cheer. It's almost like the Army's endorsing all these people to come in. Well, no shit.
Yeah, they are.
That's where the pinks and greens are being fucking shown off, dude. Have an associate, because these guys are inviting. And this is what I don't believe. I don't think that we should go to these events. You have people who are fucking talking heads, talking to reporters that can't even get fucking shit straight on reports, and interviews, and panels, and all sorts of shit. It is the largest spotlight ranging motherfucking place to go to. Now, if you had members of the WTF Nation go to at USA, then different story. If you had members of the WTF Nation showing up, could you imagine having you guys we go there? We should do that. As a matter of fact,
we should totally go. Get our credentials and
get our credentials and go. We're press. Who are you? We're press.
Yeah.
Totally. So
we should send Jose.
No, I mean, we should broadcast from there. That's a good idea. I think we should do that.
Ooh, get a booth.
Yeah, get a booth.
Get a booth and a banner and let everybody know, hey, we're WTF Nation Radio.
You want to come over here?
You've always wanted to meet us?
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are.
You want to meet Jose? Jose. So real quick, I'm going to do some house cleaning. Tonight you heard, God, I can't believe we had David Corlew on today. Woo. So if you guys missed it out, you guys check out segment 2. David Corlew from the Journey Home Project, who's also a member of the Charlie Daniels Band. Woo! So he came on to talk about what the Journey Home Project was all about. Talked about the program him and Charlie Daniels are part of. Tomorrow, we're going to have, now we got a name. We have Kevin Soley and Crystal from Girls Gone Grunt.
Ooh.
So there's going to be some chicks on tomorrow, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Chick and gals. So now we got to name it. So it's Crystal's the model?
Yes, that's the model.
Okay, hang on. Let me see. We got some pictures here. Woo, woo, woo.
Woo, woo, woo.
Look, some pictures. Want to see what Crystal looks like? Our current Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm looking at one of the current models on there. Her name is Brittany. She has beautiful eyes. Yes, indeed. She has beautiful eyes. Let's see what. So we have. So there's Tiffany. There's Jessica. There's Katie. And there's Crystal. And then there's Brittany. Oh, loaded. Oh, and there's Jessica 2.0. Loaded.
Girls Gone Grunt, you say?
Yes, indeed. Girls Gone Grunts. Ooh, loaded. Gonna see them girls grunts. Woo, woo. Nope, you're gonna have to tune in the show tomorrow to see the pics, man. So the mission is to grow respect and appreciation for all the hardworking women of our country, whether they stay at home mom, businesswoman, nurse, or any role that women play a vital role day-to-day lives. That's right. His vision is to give women a platform to celebrate life's accomplishments, hard work, and patriotism. Oh, Yeah, that website, they're celebrating all right.
Oh, wow.
You see the pics?
I'm looking at Brittany now.
Yes, indeed.
Ooh, she's in the same state with me.
Yeah, oh, indeed. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I gotta go, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Exactly.
I'll be right back.
Gonna get right back. And want to look at the fat machine. Oh, wait, great. Sexual harassment. Sexual harassment. You are now in violation of the mixer.
Sure.
So we're gonna have we're gonna have Pat coming on my show on Muntog. He's coming on Monday. He's going to partners talking about the Veterans Day run, and you get a long sleeve shirt. He'll be coming on to talk about what's happening. It's going to start at the World War I Museum in Kansas City. Can't wait. Third annual War Horse Veterans 5K. Good shit. Patrick Benson, always welcome to come on here from War Horses for Veterans. Tuesday we have Mitch Hunter. He's the dude that had the third full face transplant recipient. The third full face, like face off, like face off, fucking transplant, like the movie Face Off. You guys see the movie Face Off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I was only aware of the first one.
Yeah, this is the third one. This is like legit third one.
There's been several face transplants since the first one, like years ago.
Yeah. So he was involved in a motor vehicle accident, and he suffered severe burns from pushing a female occupant from a live wire because the wire was coming out, and the way he'll explain it to you, but I'll read some of it. Oh my God, wow. Whew. Man, it sucks.
He's lucky to be alive.
He is really lucky to be alive. See, but you notice that? He was pushing a female occupant from a live wire. He was a man saving a woman. That's the way it should be, men. We should be that. We don't recreate. The women do. We don't push babies out. The women do. So it's just.
So you save them.
You save them. Women. You know that term, women and kids first and shit. That's where the term comes from, man. Saturday we're gonna have John Al from Healing in the Human Being. Yes, healing the human and the being. He's a shaman. He's gonna come on to talk about how his techniques has been used to deal with PTSD and anything to help with healing of the body, the mind, soul, and sound. That's awesome. Sorry, I just think that's gonna be Jay Rady's show. Jay Rady's all up about that guy, man. He's been talking.
Yes, he is.
He is talking. He's like, we're talking about some station stuff on the phone, and then he's like, hey man, blah blah blah. So we're talking about some other shit. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. And all of a sudden he's like, man, you need this dude, he's a shaman, man. He's a shaman. And I'm like, yeah, okay, got it. No, you don't understand, man. He is a shaman, dude. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you.
No, dude, you don't understand.
Yeah, you don't understand. I'm from the South. But anyways. Oh, yeah. Trust me. If you look at it, look at the woo-woos. So many woo-woos. I don't need no heart meds because I'm doing PT now. You guys want to know what that website was again? It was girlsgonegrunt.com. Woo-woo. God, man. So, other than that, we got partnered up with KHB out in Pittsburgh with a veteran report. Jim Cannon, 94.1 FM, 620 AM in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Check them out once in a while. Oh man, you had to make that joke, didn't you, Pookie? Pookie goes, watch them chimpanzees, because I think that was the second one. The first one was some chick in France. The second one was a chick that got her face ripped off from a chimpanzee, I think. And Pookie had to make
I remember that case. The owner of that chimpanzee.
She's like
she was killed.
The owner of the chimpanzee was killed, but her friend was the one getting the face ripped off of it.
Yes, and there was like someone else that was affiliated with it, and they were like, I guess, I would say butthurt, but the woman that got her face ripped off was suing someone, and they were all mad because they were suing them. And I'm like,
because they shot the champ.
She had her face ripped off.
Yeah. So the thing is that this is what I was telling you about people who have service dogs, who think they know about animals to say it's a service dog. And I'm like, no, bitch, you fucking hoard cats, okay? Your house smells like fucking ammonia, and it's got dry sweep all over the place. So it is not fucking. You're not an expert. You're not an expert when someone's. That's my support dog. That's my support dog. Remember that? Just like you ever watch, dude, now I got turned on to this Doc Vader. It is fucking hilarious. If you listen to fucking Doc Vader.
I saw it.
And he's like, what is that? Is that a shit in my emergency room? That's fucking awesome. You got to watch Doc Vader, and he talks about service and support animals. Because I got ripped on fucking OSMW on the overly sensitive military wives because I made a couple comments on there. And you'll know who it is once you click on my profile and you see who it is. It's not WTF. I don't ever put WTF Nation Radio stuff on there. It's just me, myself, trolling as myself. And then once you open my profile, you'll know who it is. And, oh, yeah, I fucking trolled them chicks. They were like, well, you know, I a poodle. A poodle is one of the most versatile. That's like, dude, stop. Don't even go there. Don't
They
even
probably
go
would have ate me alive if I said you just punt the dog.
Yeah, that's what I was like saying. I'd have punted that fucking dog across the goddamn. Yeah, don't get me started on that shit. But yeah, but anyways, what were we talking about? We were talking about that type of person. We're talking about the chimp. Yeah, we're talking about that. We're talking about the lady who was upset about the chimpanzee. Hey, look, just because you got a chimpanzee with no training whatsoever doesn't mean you know how to fucking raise one.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah, exactly. And there's more. Actually, there's only one creature in the world that you're allowed to get away with a comment like that, and that's a kid. That's like you're a human baby. Especially if it's yours. I mean, you better be yours, but don't be raising somebody else's kid. I don't know. Sometimes in my cases, with all the ex-wives that I've had, I'm raising other people's kids. But anyways, the thing is that fucking you don't raise a fucking animal that you don't know fucking yeah I did see the dog in his tactical beer koozie. That's awesome. Now I bet you if you put a service dog, see again, we're gonna get in the subject about service dogs and fucking what's the other one? Support dogs and service dogs. To me, a service dog, and then we talked about this too, is that it's an animal that can actually, that is large enough to do something. And your house has to be fitted with special types of equipment and doors so that way your service dog can help you handle your shit. Or if you're having an epileptic fit, or you're having something to that effect where the dog can control you if you're having a panic attack. That's a service dog. You fucking embroidering a tactical vest on a Chihuahua and saying it's a service dog because you don't want to be that guy, because you know what, people who like really take fur babies like literal, like people who that's my fur baby, that's my fur baby, it's a service dog. Again, your house fucking smells like ammonia and it's got dry sweep everywhere.
Look, I got fur babies, I got fur kids. They're not service animals, they're not support animals.
They're animals.
And there's only 2 dogs and a cat.
God, I'm looking at this damn, I'm looking at this. I might have to tune in.
She is ripped, dude.
Dude, I'm about to say that there's some of the ladies on the website here. Whoo, you'll have to see that. You guys will have to tune in tomorrow and check out all woo.
I'm looking at Brittany. She's built, man. She might be able to give CT Fletcher a run for his money.
No, man. Why are you dissing on CT, bro?
I'm not. Look at her,
dude. She's a beast, man. They're all fit and PT'd. Nothing wrong with girls who do PT. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong. And like I said, they take care of themselves by doing PT. That's awesome. Love it. So anyways, so with that, yeah, so that's what we got going on. Don't forget, we got shows every day. We got shows in the daytime, 12 to 1400. Check them out. We're doing some schedule lineups. We're changing some stuff around. Next year, we're going to be doing a lot of shit. You're going to start seeing some videos and stuff of us, too, pretty soon. We're working on a project right now. We're trying to see what we can get away with and what we can't get away with. And then you might start seeing some webisodes of shit. So, more to follow on that. So, do you guys got anything?
I have woo shots with nothing.
Okay. Did you want to see one more time? Did you want to hear one more time the Charlie Daniels, that one down in Georgia?
Oh, hit it.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, y'all have a good one, and thanks for joining us at Sergeant's Time. Don't forget, the podcast will be loaded up tonight, so you'll be able to go on Twitter, follow us on anything with the /WTF Nation Radio. So go to facebook.com/WTFNR, twitter.com/WTF Nation Radio, mixer.com/WTF Nation Radio, and what else? What else we got? That was it, right?
YouTube.
Oh, yeah, we also got YouTube. /WTF Nation Radio. We also have our very own WTFNationRadio.com, where you can grab all the podcasts and grab all the things and try to find out who any of us are. So with that, it's time to play some. That went down to Georgia. He was looking. Anyways, they sing it better than I do. So, anyways, y'all have a good night, and thanks for joining us at Stars Time. Shots.
Shots. Good night, y'all.
Night, y'all.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith
to the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool dark.
Good evening, boys and girls. This is Tim Kennedy. I'm a Special Forces sniper, a Ranger qualified Green Beret, a UFC fighter. Please listen to us and the shenanigans that we're going to say. We will insult you. There will be racial slurs. We will be sexist. We will offend you. But there will be magic, and a unicorn will be raped. So enjoy the show. Thank you for listening on WTF Nation Radio.